Hello, folks. Did you know 2 out of 3 men will experience some form of hair loss by the time they are 35? Go to keeps.com/Nate to get your first month of treatment for free. That is keeps.com/Nate for your first month free. Also, that is special occasion is coming up. So get the gift that will last forever from Paint Your Life. Get a custom painting for your loved one for a limited time. Get 20% off your painting and free shipping. Text the word Nate to 64,000 64000. Paint Your Life. Celebrate the moments that matter most.
Hey guys, I'm not on this week's podcast, but I still came in anyway to tell you about Everyman Jack. That's how much I care about it. Everyman Jack men's care. It's naturally derived, outdoor inspired. Look for them at Target, Walmart, Amazon, or everymanjack.com.
A perfect gift for Mother's Day. Trade Coffee. They partner with the country's best craft roasters to give you the freshest and best tasting coffee in the world. Trade customers are truly impactful for these independent roasters, supporting the local economy in small towns and big cities. They're offering new subscribers a total of $30 off your first order plus free shipping. That's more than 40 cups of coffee for free. Go to drinktrade.com/Nate and take their quiz to find coffee that you love. And finally, life is busy and your well-being is important. Athletic Greens makes it so easy to get the vitamins you need every day with one scoop. For a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs, go to athleticgreens.com/Nate for a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. athleticgreens.com.
Hello, folks. Welcome to the Nateland podcast. I'm Nate Bargatze, sitting here with Aaron Weber. Justin Smith filling in for Brian Bates.
What's up, buddy?
What's up? I was just saying to me.
They're just anybody.
Oh, yeah, anybody out there?
Everybody's a buddy.
Everybody's a buddy. Everybody's at home listening.
That's right. We're all buddies.
So, welcome to the show. This is, we've recorded this one as a backup. I don't know if I ever should. Are you supposed to say that?
I don't think people mind it. I think people like to know.
I like to know.
Mm-hmm.
I think as long as you're consistent, you're just like, hey, I got something
That's
this week. We know you're busy.
We know you're
Aaron's
busy.
I don't have a lot going on, but like
Justin was wide open.
wide open.
We're doing this for Justin.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
The
Thanks,
audience says it. We won't release it. We're just going to send it to Justin's YouTube only.
Justin, you need some chin work.
Yeah.
It's an audition tape, basically.
Yeah. What's chin work?
Just like the way you hold your.
Oh, chin.
Yeah.
Do they call it chin work?
I don't know. I haven't taken any classes yet, so I don't.
Is there a way to hold your chin?
Oh, for sure.
Is there like
when you're sitting, when you're on camera, you want to make sure that you're not slouched. It's like it's all just facial placement and stuff.
Well, didn't you and Jay Cutler talk about the trick of you're putting your tongue on the top of your mouth when you smile?
Yeah.
For a picture?
Yeah.
It's going to lift up your neck.
Yeah.
I want to work on my smile.
I mean,
that's pretty rough right there.
We were just talking about how I can't.
Justin's over here. He goes, I just look the worst when I smile.
Oh,
yeah. It's awful.
It's just bad.
Anytime for a picture, I still don't know. I know it sounds like a Will Ferrell thing, but I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah. How do you smile?
It's so bad.
That is tough to look at.
I'm telling you, it's so bad. Because I have to make myself.
Yeah. So what do?
You just don't smile that often.
You just go. Both of them look like you're not happy to be in the picture.
Or I do.
Your smile and regular face, they're both like, I can't use any of this.
I try to do the hip hop pose sometimes, where it's like you cross your arms and you chin up.
You have to do that. You have to just mean mug and be like, this is what I do.
And you want to be like, listen, man, I'm so happy, but just trust me. If I would have smiled, it would have been way worse.
It's like a soft smile. Like I always just say you're like. Yeah. I'll see pictures. I take pictures with people afterwards, and I just like
it looks so forced.
Not forced. I mean, I just think to go big. I am happy.
Yeah, sure.
But you're trying to make sure, and then it looks because it don't be every picture you take with someone. You're like next. It's like that's what that would feel like.
Yeah.
So you're like, I am happy to take these pictures. It's cool. All right.
It's such a struggle, though. I mean, I just
It is a weird. I think I would imagine, but most people think that you either like have a great smile or you just your whole life is figuring it out. It's like you're either born with it or not with a smile.
Being photogenic is a real thing.
It's a real thing. Yeah.
Well, also, there's tricks to it. Like I have friends of mine that are like IG people, and they like I had a full on conversation about how it took her 2 years to figure out how to look natural on like when she takes pictures. And you're like, and she goes, I go, there's no way. Like you look at her now, and you're like, oh, there's no way. And then she showed me photos when she started, like doing.
She left all those up.
And no. She sent them to. She's like, these have been long since been taken down. But she goes, this is the evolution of it. And I was just like, oh my gosh, you can't tell somebody's like, oh, this is awkward.
I would love to see that.
I mean, it was bad.
Yeah. That's interesting to even see it. Like, I would love to see how much better it gets to know, like, should you even, is it, because then you'd be like, oh, yeah, you should work on this. Like, there's a big difference.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's interesting. If y'all ever see me in the future pictures and it's like a new hole.
You're regressing.
I just
get worse at it. Oh, you're doing blue steel, like just straight on. Yeah.
I just always look like I went. I do it nice. You ever see pictures of me? A good one is I'm always like, I just raise my eyebrows up, and you're like, that's enough. They get it. Looks like this guy's having a good time.
So much fun.
Christian Moscoso. When I was in elementary school, I had a teacher who used to say that every night we go to bed being less dumb. I do not think he took into account the fact that I would listen to y'all weekly. On Wednesdays, I'm pretty sure I go to bed a little dumber. Best case scenario, may break even. But what I know for sure is that on a Wednesday, I definitely go to bed happier. And
that's what it's.
There it is.
Yeah, we're not here to make you smarter. All right? Happier.
I spent my whole life breaking even.
I've been in a deficit for a while. Emily Camp. Last night, our family went to the park to throw the frisbee around. Sometimes my rhythm of a sentence is, I can even tell, like it's so bad. Last night, our family went to the park to throw a frisbee around.
Throw the frisbee around while
my husband, 2 older children, and I were passing and catching the frisbee. Our 4-year-old with autism, who didn't start talking until last January, was running around and shouting, "Let's go, folks!" over and over again. He thought it was hilarious. I was trying to figure out where he could have heard that. Then I realized I always listen to your podcast with him in the car. Thanks for keeping it clean. Look at that. Well, let's go, folks. That's for you. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yelling it, let them know. That's how we need to get the word out.
I'm going to tell you something. He's going to be saying that for 30, 40, 50 years.
I like it.
Because once you get into like somebody with autism's repertoire like that, it's there forever.
Perfect.
Yeah. Wait till that conspiracy theories episode sinks in.
Matthew Hawkins. So my wife changed my life a few years back when she bought me this cereal bowl. It's got a top part for the cereal, a bottom part for the milk, and a little slide between. Your cereal will never get soggy. It's truly awesome. Wow. So you scoop it over there whenever you want. Oh, let me see that top. Do a video. Video kind of gets to the point quicker than you going super fast.
Yeah, so you got half of it. You just pour the milk.
Oh, yeah.
I already don't like this.
I
don't know. I don't mind it.
I understand it now.
I understand it. Yeah, it's like it would be amazing.
So it's got one half is where you put the cereal, the other half's where you put the milk, and then you can kind of slide around a little few pieces at a time.
And you save milk, which is good.
I think you could end up using.
I don't think so.
Milk.
It doesn't look like it.
I feel like you're gonna have to.
I don't know why those people are eating in a towel. I'm not on board with it because of that. That would be the reason. There you go. You had me until you had them come in a towel and robe and eat cereal. Like 2 robes maybe in the morning. They got it for breakfast, but she has a towel and you're eating cereal next to. Oh, God,
and his robe doesn't fit. His robe does not fit at all.
Yeah. What do they think?
I mean,
what do you think when you do an ad And you go at the end of it, you're like, well, we want to know couples do it. All right, well, why don't you just show a family eating?
Yeah.
But that's who eats cereal. You're like, no, we'll show kind of a sexy couple come. And you're like, well, who cares if they eat cereal?
And what are they looking at? They're just looking down at the wall.
Yeah, they look
in the
away.
Counter.
They eat the cereal and look out into their living room of nothing.
You're looking at places where you should be sitting and you're not.
That's a family that goes to bed dumber. You want to go have cereal and just stare into the living room? Is there windows? No. It's just our furniture. We'll look out amongst our furniture and our beautiful picture that we have. How would you even... What do you tell them when you're acting? You're like, so what do you want us to do? They tried sitting down, I'm sure, and his robe kept coming open. And they're like, well, that's no good.
This is a small.
Yeah. And then they go, all right, well, just come stand and eat it. And they probably ate it over. I guarantee they ate it at the camera. And it's like, I mean, this is a cereal commercial. It's probably a little too revealing. And they're like, you want to just do something else? And he's like, we're already here with the stuff on. So, you know what if y'all grab the cereal and just, we don't show the product. By the way, the end of this video is not showing the product. It's showing the backs of two people.
Nudging each other.
Yeah. Like kind
like
of
it's a Seinfeld sketch almost.
Yeah. 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 They don't show the end of it. That's crazy, dude.
Also, they don't
his towel looks like, his robe looks like it got a hole in it.
They don't put milk in it.
Yeah. And they look.
I mean.
Yeah. All right.
I'm furious with this.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Look how they stack, Nate. What a feature.
Yeah. I like that. I might be back.
Like it's a yin
All right,
yang.
I might be back on. Yeah. I'm not against this idea. Their ads are, that's ridiculous. So, Derek Visor, Derek spells it D-R-E-K the correct way. That's my brother. So we spell it like that. When we were kids, my family relocated to Pittsburgh. My brother Dean thought this would be a good time to start going by the name Scott, since he'd always wanted that name. Purely by coincidence, our new neighbor saw a TV commercial about missing kids and thought one of them looked exactly like Dean. Since he was telling everyone his name was Scott, this confirmed their theory. Within a few days, my mom got a visit from two FBI agents who demanded to see Dean's birth certificate and baby pictures. Thank goodness she believed the badges looked legit and put away the gun she had carried to the door before opening it. Otherwise, our childhood would have been a lot different. That's a different childhood. That could go two ways. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow.
I just like a mother that would carry the gun to the door.
Yeah.
Like.
Thanks for talking while I took a drink.
You got it.
I know. I was waiting for someone of y'all to do it.
I got your back.
The guy that's on the podcast every week bailed.
I wanted to see Justin.
Yeah.
I got it. I did it.
When you started drinking, I kind of go.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Can I tell you something? I didn't realize you were taking a drink. I was just like, I was going to hop in on the gun thing.
Yeah.
Because I like a protective mama.
I do. I like it. She's like, this looks real.
We talked about Justin. If you could just pick another name, would you stick with Justin? You pretty happy with what you're...
I would find a better showbiz name, that's for sure. Justin Smith just sounds like a guy that's going to do your taxes. I mean, not even good taxes, like an H&R Block guy, you know?
That's who I use.
I think you're giving that name a little more status. Justin Smith, I don't think is a tax guy.
I don't think accountant.
I don't think accountant.
It just feels like a guy somebody started a new life.
Yeah,
and that's
it sounds like a guy that would have kidnapped a kid that used to be called Dean, now named Scott.
Yeah,
and you have a little problem with the FBI.
Yeah, and then he's got to go relocate. But what job do you give him?
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
An accountant.
That's what it feels like.
That's what I'm saying.
No, yeah, that's true.
I just got it.
But
that's what I said.
I would. All right,
you were like, no way, and I was like, yep.
I would believe it. That I need that backstory. It's not just a tax guy.
Well,
I think Justin Smith has a backstory of that. He's been relocated.
When you put me in charge of backstories, things get a little hairy.
Yeah. Yeah. Victor Lowrider. I wonder if that's what they just call him. Victor Lowrider, and they go, it's fine. Because it gets you low, and you're like, well, that's what I'm going to finish with. And he goes, what's Ramore? And you go, I'll do Lowrider, Victor Lowrider. I hope he's huge or something. Like, it's like not even, well, he's like, I'm pretty tall. You're like, all right. Several years ago, I decided that if I was asked for my name at a restaurant, I was going to use a something. What is that?
Pseudonym.
Pseudonym. Oh, that's the fake name.
Mm-hmm.
Pseudonym. Not long after I made that decision, I was in the Atlanta airport and I decided to try it out. I stopped at a Chick-fil-A, and when I asked for my name, I said Jack. Soon the girl who took my order stepped up to the counter with a bag of food and drink and said, Jack. All of us looked around expecting Jack to step up and get his order. He did not. Again, and a little more loudly, she said, Jack. All of us looked around again, wondering what happened to Jack. Finally, while looking directly at me, she shouted, Jack. And then I remembered that's me. As I slipped up to the counter, I was sure the girl who took my order and the others waiting for their orders were wondering, what is wrong with this idiot? I took my food and with a half smile said to the girl, sorry, jet lag. She said with some anger in her voice, I called your name 3 times. I ducked away as fast as I could and didn't look back. That's very funny.
Yeah. Use a fake name. You got to stick to it. You gotta have the backstory.
That's what makes me not use a fake name because I don't feel I have the confidence for it. I think some people can do that and they like it. I'm not. I feel it was not like because I think they might know me before anybody would ever. I would never feel comfortable.
Yeah.
To be like I'm building and then be like and just have people quiet. Like I don't like it. I'd be like that feels weird.
What if it was your middle name? You might respond to that reflexively without even thinking about it.
Lee?
Yeah. If you heard Lee, that might make you turn around.
I don't know. I don't think I would.
Interesting.
I don't think I would turn around Lee. No one says Lee.
Yeah.
No one.
I don't think I turn around for my middle name either.
What's your middle name?
We don't gotta get into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's fine.
Yeah. Is it
That's Carl.
Carl?
Yeah.
Justin Carl Smith?
Yeah.
It does.
And that's why. That's why right there.
Yeah.
Carl
You
Smith.
get to say Lee, and nobody blinks an eye. All of a sudden, you throw Carl in there. Carl and Lee hang out together.
Yeah.
Carl
Yeah.
Lee together sounds
Yeah.
like one guy's name.
Yeah.
That's like when you got in show business, you're like, I don't know if I like Justin. You go, well, do your middle name, dude. And you go, what is that? You go, it's Carl. I go,
Justin sounds pretty
goes,
good.
Yeah.
how do you feel like, just doing the road a lot? What do you set your sights on? I wouldn't set it on Hollywood, but I would set it on just a strong road schedule. Justin Carl Smith.
Sounds like a guy that needs to mediocrely play the guitar. That's what
There
it
you
sounds
go.
like.
Right when you walk in, how you doing? I'm Justin Carl Smith. All right, where's your stuff? We'll go ahead and plug it in.
You
They
do
just
sound
ask.
check?
Yeah,
How many sound cues you got?
yeah. Justin Carl Smith does sound like a comic that's going to just have. He's like, so you come in a day early like normal, and you go, what? He goes, you're Justin Carl Smith, right? You do the guitar stuff.
That's great.
Matthew Tanner. I'd like to hear if Nate ever considered trying out for SNL. I know a lot of times SNL comes to check out comedians in New York, but I have never heard Nate speak on that. No, I had no. If I would have ever thought to try out, maybe I could have wrote a packet
Mm-hmm.
to try to be a writer on it. Would have been the only thing, but no one ever approached me about doing it. The Daily Show was the only thing that
I saw your name on a few like those buzz lists about people that they would like to see on it. I saw that, but I know.
Yeah, but that's like
kinda how
someone.
it's-
Yeah.
But I mean, you were. I remember for a couple years seeing because I messaged them to you.
Mhm.
But it was like I remember seeing you on lists and stuff.
Yeah.
that I
To
would
be on it.
that people that I knew that wrote different
Yeah.
things. Like you were, I feel like you were always in the conversation, whether it was real or not.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's none of it was real, but it was cool to see. I remember doing it, like
Mhm.
people saying it. So
It's okay. The first time you go on, you'll host it. That's fine.
yeah, that's
That'd
what
be-
I'm
What'd you say?
waiting
That'd
for.
be cool.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
James Elam. One time I was seeing Nate at the Arlington Draft House in Virginia. While I was looking for parking before the show, I found a spot with an old mattress in it. Me and my friends thought no one would take the space because they didn't want to touch the mattress, so we got out and moved it and took the space. Walking out of the parking lot into the front door of the venue, I then saw a car with Nate, and the host pulled into the packed parking lot going towards the space we took and realized we just took their spot. Sorry about that, Nate. This sounds maybe somewhat familiar. I think it does sound familiar.
Do they
That's
not
very
have
funny.
a cone in this parking lot?
Yeah, you think they would have a cone. I think a cone would be better.
Than an old mattress? Yeah, I'd say.
Yeah, Arlington Draft House is a great club. Great club.
I'm headlining there in August.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
great, dude.
first
It's
time.
a
Oh,
it's
buddy.
Yeah.
it's a, it was a it was you know
If you need a
I
guitar
never
opener, let me
remember
know.
anything, but from my memory, one of the first clubs I sold out the weekend.
Oh yeah.
If not the first, but at least one of the first. Arlington Draft House is a great club, and it's you know, they take a lot of comics, and you get to kind of grow there and stuff. And the DC Improv is great too. Like I know I'm talking about both; they're competitors in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
DC Improv is a legendary club, and it's like crazy. Ceilings are very low. It's like you just
Yeah.
murder. But Arlington's awesome, and it's a lot of comics. Sometimes it's the very beginning. They're very cool, like looking out for new comics, and then
Mhm.
you get a headline there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pumped.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's great. Nicholas Butcher, Nicole's Butcher. I saw Nate in Charleston, South Carolina. The batteries on the mic died during the show. Once things got working again, Brian delivered a new mic. Nate started talking about doing comedy for soldiers on USO tour with no mic. I've never heard him tell that story since. I was wondering what it was like going into a war zone and doing comedy. Nicole's Butcher. I'm trying to like picture that show. I do so many shows. It's so funny that the mic goes out and you're like, I don't know. Like you would think something that big, you'd be like,
Mhm.
you don't remember that? You're like, I don't know. A lot of mics have gone out.
Yeah.
But I do yeah. So I did when I did the shows with no mic in the USO. I've never told this on here.
Mm-mm.
So we did. It was crazy. The USO tours were amazing. It's always say like it's one of the highlights of my career. I think if I would have fell into comedy, I would have probably went to the military. And I like that camaraderie. I like everything about it. And so that's why it was so great to go get him perform over there, because it was like I always felt like some reason was like pulled in that direction.
Yeah.
And then I thought, well, this is why, I'm getting to go this way. And so we did stuff with this guy, Scott Kennedy, who passed away.
He's great.
He's great. And he
Amazing.
did, I did with my first time over was with Dustin Chafin. He got us, we went to Bahrain and Djibouti and Kuwait, I think. And then, so I went with Dustin Chafin first, and then I started going with this guy, Scott Kennedy. And then Scott would go there like once a month. It was crazy. He'd go 2 weeks, then come home for 2 weeks, then go back 2 weeks. I mean, every month.
Mhm.
And so when we did those with him, he would really target the FOBs, the forward operating bases, that were just small bases that were just in the middle of like cities in Iraq. And so it's like you would go, sometimes you see those USO tours, like it's still awesome they go do it, but a lot of times they go to Kuwait, to the big place. And it's like, it's guys coming or going. It's a reason that they're there. But it's like Scott we'd go to your base. And I mean, we drove through Baghdad, to the streets of Baghdad, like in a convoy.
Mm.
I think they got in trouble for it because they were like, yeah, y'all should have never done that.
Yeah.
And when you're driving, they have to look at like everything they see. I mean, dude, they drive. It's crazy. They just drive on the side of the road. Like, it's almost like there's no cars. And you're just driving through the city. We went to the Saddam thing where the swords. I don't know if that's Saddam.
The
But
statue?
The
Yeah.
statue thing.
No, not the statues of Saddam. What's the gold swords in
Is it
Baghdad?
like the Welcome to Baghdad sign?
Yeah, I guess it's like their airport sign. So maybe it's not Saddam's sign.
The Victory Arch?
Yeah, maybe look at the Victory Arch. Yeah, that
No,
that
that's right
thing,
here. The
yeah.
Victory Arch. Oh, that's crazy.
Oh, that's actually 4. Is that because they won victory over Saddam? So
No.
I don't know.
That doesn't
what it
feel
is.
very positive walking.
I got a
into-
picture right under it.
Really?
Yeah. I mean the picture's somewhere, but it was a fat bloated Nate that he stood under there. And finished in 89. Oh, for dedicated to fallen Iraqi soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I took a picture there, and then stayed in Saddam's palace. It was crazy to go. We walked around that, like you'd see where Saddam's kids, where his sons had a palace. I mean, it's like pulling into a neighborhood, like kind of, and you're like, oh, like you take a right, left, right, and that's where his sons lived, like in a cul-de-sac, basically, kind of together.
Saddam
Yeah.
cul-de-sac.
Saddam, and Saddam had the big thing, and Saddam would do what I remember, like you could see where they hit because they hit like his sons, like
Right.
when they first attacked, they hit like his son's palace, and so like you could see it. I stayed at that. I hit golf balls in that water.
Oh man.
Yeah, and they so you would stay when you go in there and stay. There's a famous picture where Saddam was interviewed by Barbara Walters,
Mhm.
and I sat in those seats. Saddam was there, and he
He did not like my questions.
he didn't. Yeah, I was like, he was pretty cool about everything. So he painted everything. Everything's really gold, but it's all gold painted. And the idea of it was, it looks very rich from everybody outside, but it was like, I mean, he had 30 of these palaces,
Oh,
and he
yeah.
made them run as if he was at every one of them. So every palace ran as if he was there. So then that way, if someone tried to kill him, you couldn't tell. You were like, it's not like mails, like the mailbox is full, or like it'd be smoke and the chimney comes out. Well, he's eating breakfast. He's eating
Yeah.
like, and they did it. So everybody just ran. You ran it like as if Saddam. So you would make plates, and that way no one could know where he was at.
Wow.
Yeah, and then
Did you sleep on one of the beds?
I slept on a bunk in a room, and but I mean, I think a lot of people have obviously stayed in that room. And then so we went and drove to all these small bases, and I'm driving down the streets, and these guys are having to look at like you see a shopping bag, and you're like, what's that? Like that stuff could be all IEDs. And then we went to we did Black Hawks too. Black Hawks were crazy. I remember just flying. I've talked about like you're flying. We went to Kirkuk, and we were flying over Iraq, and it's at night, and
Mhm.
it's just dark.
Yeah.
It's just nothing but dark.
Wow.
Like there's no, it's like you fly over America, you're like, there's always little
You
lights,
see cities and
cities,
yeah.
and
Well, if it's dark, you think, oh, it's farmland.
Yeah,
You don't realize there's a whole city underneath your feet.
yeah. Well, I don't think. Oh, well, it could be, I guess, but I'm saying I don't think. I think there was just nothing.
I thought you were talking about flying over the city and it was all dark.
No. I mean, like you just like as you're going to Kirkuk, you're just flying over parts where it'd be like flying over probably parts of Alaska where you're like,
yeah.
there's nothing here, dude. Like if you're, and it felt like that where you're like, who knows where we're at? Like, but saw Abraham's house. This right before he went to Egypt, before he moved to Egypt. I think it's more.
Abraham?
Yeah.
It goes, I've been to that house. And I don't think it was like before he moved to Egypt. It was very, how did they, yeah, he lived there for a while, then he moved out.
Is this like Father Abraham?
Yeah.
Son, the son.
This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
where you went right here?
I went there, and then, but his house, they found his house like next to it,
Mm-hmm.
and you could see it like over next to it. I think it's over there. They undid it, but the floors, they redid the walls. You could look at another. I don't think zoom in. All right, there you go. I mean, I don't know how you're looking. You just thought right here, I'll just zoom in more, and you're like, all right, dude, go that one, the middle left.
Right here?
Yeah, that's the whole thing. That wasn't, yeah. So that's the birthplace of Abraham, and then so I walked in all this. And so the walls were built for the layout of it, but the floor is all the floor he would have walked on. And so he went to Egypt, right? Or was it?
I wish I
no.
knew more about that story.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Oh, great.
I was trusting you. I was trusting you the whole time.
You thinking of Moses?
Yeah. No, I think he did. I think he had to get out.
I think
I think he turned 18, left his parents' house, and turned some
many
Metallica
sons.
on, and it's like, and then and drove off to. I mean, look, there's cars there, so he took one of those. But so we walked around the floors of that, and it was crazy because the Pope was going to go there and bless it,
Yeah.
but Saddam, like it was all set up, and he's going to go, and then Saddam said no. And never got to do it. And so when you go, you give the guy that runs it, all the soldiers and stuff, give that dude money to kind of like keep, because there's one guy that kind of keeps it up. And like, and you're in a place that they don't care that it's the whole country is just where
Historical.
Abraham walked.
Yeah.
Like it's like, but yeah, but I always like think about it. Maybe that's it now. Maybe there's they actually you can't. If that's it, you know what's crazy? If they have that now, where you got to walk around it on the wood. I walked on it. If that's like that's what's so crazy now, they'd be like, oh, you can't walk.
It's all
it.
fenced off now, man.
I mean, I could
How
also.
crazy! I remember thinking, I go, if this was anywhere else, I wouldn't be able to get within 10 feet of it.
Yeah.
And this time, the guy was like, yeah, come on. And we just walked, were hopping off on the floor up and down, like we lived there. And I was just like, God, this is so crazy that we get to walk on this like that.
I also can see you being the guy that like you go and you're walking around and so a bunch of guards come up and like, hey, what are you doing? You can't do this. And you're like, no, the guy said it was okay. And they go, what guy?
Yeah.
You go, yeah, the guy I gave money to. And you go,
Yeah.
oh, no. He's gone.
He goes, yeah. He goes, this is where we park trailers here. I go, oh, it's not. Oh, I thought Abraham lived here.
It says
He
bus
goes,
parking in English.
Yeah. I go, why would Abraham live here? He's in Egypt. He says, that's the thing. What are you talking about, dude? Abraham went straight to Egypt. I think he was born right outside Egypt. Town, suburb. He was born in a suburb of Egypt.
The suburbs of Egypt.
Yeah. I go, what are you crazy? I go, are you serious, dude?
Learn something new every day.
All right. Who knew? But anyway, long story. That USO tour, the USO one with no mic is we went to some soldiers. I want to say they were SEALs or something, or Rangers, and we went to their base with economy for them at 8 in the morning, right when they got back from a mission, and there was no microphone, and I stood in front of and it was it was like we landed in a helicopter, got out, did it. We're basically going back. They just go back. We were like, we don't need to do this mission. Like they've been out all night.
Yeah.
And so you're like, it's like we don't.
You also got to hope that mission went good.
Yeah. And then they go, I go, we don't need to do comedy. And they go, no, you came all the way here. They're going to watch it. And you're like, oh. And then so we stand in a chow hall, and we're doing no microphone. And there's a buffet behind me. I remember when I was up there, one guy just went to the buffet. And I mean, he's like, I have to move at one point in the middle of the joke. I'm like, I'm doing like whatever my old, Bahrain joker, there's snakes in Honduras. And I'm like, oh, sorry. And then, so two snakes go, and he just walked by and got his food and left. And, it was, they were all great. It was, it was a weird, I mean, they didn't come back to expect to see
Comedy show.
a comedy show at
Guess
8
what?
a.m. And
Guess
then,
what, guys?
and it's like, I don't know, dude, can I just go lay in my bed? And they're like, no, you got to do it. Go watch them.
I did your thing. I remember you talking about how good it feels to do an early set. I did an early corporate last weekend, and it was awesome.
Awesome.
I had a set later that night, but I was like, dude, I already
did a set.
worked.
I feel great, dude.
Feel
Already
great.
worked.
You already worked.
Mm-hmm.
Feel like you snuck one in.
Right.
Yeah. Everybody else didn't work. You go, I'm already.
Yeah, like what have y'all been doing, man?
I'm already
Yeah.
one deep.
I already
It's
did
clocking-
a set, dude.
It's clocking hours, and it's an hour that no one else got.
Mm-hmm.
It's the best feeling ever. Tom Seitz, do you have a contracted timeline with Netflix for the next taping, or do you let them know when you are ready? How do you know when the material is complete? When the booze stop. And that would be a funny way. Eventually they stop.
Yeah.
No. I could tape one now. I'm glad that I'm not. I'm glad that I'm getting to fix everything, but we're ready. There's plans. I don't know what. There's nothing concrete. Nothing I can announce. Nothing I could say. But the idea, I know what I want to do and where we want to do it. So, but we haven't. Yeah, it would just be you. Yeah, you like for a comic, you just talk. You can't talk to them. You got to go talk to Netflix first because I did one last with them, or that's what I do, and then. And we see where it goes from there, and then hopefully it's on Netflix again. I would like it to be, and so we would do another one, and then, but yeah, it's all different. Weirdly, it changes every year because I think you're just whatever you get. The beginning, you're like, thanks for letting me, and I'm always gonna be thanks for letting me even do this, but it's like the way it goes. Like it is weird now to kind of be like, we're like, well, we want to tape it here, so then it's like. So let us know if y'all want to do it. It's like it's crazy to.
But it's mutually beneficial. Like
Yeah.
you're both at a place
I hope
like, hey,
so. Yeah.
we're both like
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like I mean, early on they took a chance on you, obviously,
Yeah.
but like now it's the
I
point
tell
where
them,
like,
I go, I'm the Netflix of comedy.
yeah.
And
That's how you open the
That's
meeting.
how I open,
Listen,
I
I'm
go,
the Netflix
how
of
you
comedy.
doing? Nate Bargatze, the Netflix of comedy. Welcome to this meeting. And they're like, well, we invited you. I
Yeah.
go, maybe you didn't. Uh,
That's what the old.
How do you know
comic
when the
was.
material's ready? You remember that line from comedian Colin Quinn says, "When
Yeah.
you're killing and you're miserable."
yeah.
Yeah.
That is a great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, big deal. I mean,
That
these people
is
laugh.
wow.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't remember that. Yeah, that is a funny. I could see it. It's it is. It's like that's a. He put it the best way. Colin Quinn's so great,
Mhm.
and but it is. It's like you can get to a point where you're not in the joke, and because you've just told it so much, and you can tell like I'm getting tired of telling. This.
And it's so bulletproof that you don't even need to be in it.
You don't need to be in it.
Yeah.
And you got to remind yourself to be. I like that. I work on that a lot to be present. You know, sometimes you can go up there and you can have just like I don't know a lot of stuff going on or something happens, and then right when you walk on stage, it's like hello, and then you're in your head, you're like, God, why are we going tomorrow? Why are we leaving at 2? I don't know. You know, just something that bugs you. And then but I've gotten a lot better. Like I would have to, I mean, that happens a lot. I think people be shocked how many times comedians can be up there and their mind can be
You're on autopilot.
they're in just another world.
Mhm.
And it's not, you don't do it out of disrespect. It's just your mind is crazy. And you're like, I mean, everybody knows what that means when you're talking. I mean, anybody talking in public would know, like if you talk to anybody, you could be like, dude, I'm talking and I'm not even paying attention.
Yeah.
And so I do a lot of, like, I remind myself of it a lot. And so when I'm up, so I've gotten a lot better over the past year of just, I can pull myself back. I can go, hey, you got to be telling this joke. And it's actually helped me like the jokes more. Cause then you really look at it as like, I'm talking to this audience for the first time. They have not seen this.
Yeah.
So I want to show them how funny this is or whatever you want to go do. But it's about them in that room at that moment.
Yeah.
And so you just go and you just make yourself just keep coming back and go, this is not about you. Who cares about you? Do your dumb act and pull your head back into it. It's not fair to be thinking you can just, I think it's a slippery slope if you lose it. And it gets hard. Because like I had one show on a long run. I was doing for a couple weeks, and you could just feel like, I mean, it felt like the whole show I was having to like just keep my mind just would start walking off, and I have to jerk it back. And it like sometimes you like do it once, twice maybe, and then sometimes it's like 15 times. You're like, and you're like, I'm worn out, and I need a kind of a break.
Yeah.
And then, and then I was off a week after that. So then I went back to normal.
I feel like sometimes even just putting in something new or
trying
to find like a new line or like I'm gonna flip flop these things or a lot of times a good crowd will pull you out of that too.
Yeah.
Where you walk out and you just the volume or the way that you can feel their energy.
Mm-hmm.
Like and it doesn't necessarily mean that it's bigger or louder even.
Yeah.
I've had shows like the show the other night where it was like it wasn't the biggest crowd and everything like that, but it was like they were so happy for you to be there. You could feel like the warmthness.
Yeah.
And it pulls you back from being
but you feel the appreciation.
Oh, 100%.
And you go, I need to give that back to them, because if you don't, they can tell and they will stop showing up. And rightfully so. They can just go, or you get a courtesy, they're showing up, just because it's like, well, I might as well go see him before he dies. That's what happens when you're old.
You don't have to talk about me. I'm right here. Okay.
There you go. We got to get there early. Wow. I'm trying to see the middle act before he dies. That's basically what he just said. He goes,
man, that floor creaks more and more every year he comes out.
Yeah.
Pretty soon it's going to be, we have to reinforce it or.
He's going to be like Ollie Joe Prater. We just pull
they're just gonna
sheet off
of
us. That's the greatest
just
thing.
One time we're gonna come out. There's just gonna be a fedora on a mic stand with a light on it.
In memoriam.
This is my man right here.
All right. Recently, Brandon Alderton. Recently, my dad has made the Seinfeld reference. Ukraine is not weak, and I was told it was too soon. I don't think it was, but how do you as comedians toe the line of funny observations and sound like a heartless monster? Toe the line of funny observations. Oh, how do you toe the line? I was reading that wrong. How do you toe the line of funny observations and sounding like a heartless monster? I have the person saying too soon. I'm not on board with.
Mm-hmm.
That's where
I think I'm-
I don't even care what the joke is, but if someone goes too soon, you're like, well, then you should not. You should just never tell that person a joke.
Yeah, that's for
If
sure.
they're that serious about everything,
Mhm.
I'd imagine in Ukraine there's some jokes going around.
Right.
I'd imagine that guy's
I
dad
mean, their guys
does not hate Ukraine. I would imagine like there's it's whatever. He did a Seinfeld reference, which makes sense. And he's saying Ukraine is not weak.
Yeah.
Like that's not a bad.
Also, their leader is a comedian.
Yeah,
That's
There's
true.
also that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot about that. I saw some picture went viral of
Mm-hmm.
a stand-up show in the bomb shelters of
Yeah,
Ukraine.
that
It's
was
pretty
awesome.
cool.
That was very cool. And then they did Ukraine's that week. So it's like your dad's he's just making a Seinfeld reference. So yeah, that would. But anybody that says too soon, I'm not on board with. Like that because it's that person should. Even if I thought, I mean, this is me saying what I think about, which is my whole life is about observation. But I would never, I would not say too soon. I just wouldn't say anything. I would walk away, or you'd be like, oh yeah, and then you
Mhm.
move on. Why do I need to say? What does the too soon help? Does it need to like you're? I just it feels weird to. Even though I'm berating this person for saying too soon, but it's like but everybody knows that feeling of just like when someone goes it's too soon, man, and you're like, all right, dude, like what do you want to do?
right.
Like, all right, I'm doing a Seinfeld reference.
I mean, also I mean, it's not like they're saying that's bad. Like, it's saying how that they're not
Yeah.
like they're strong
Yeah.
people. And I don't even understand the idea of being like, oh, like I think it's on an individual basis.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's like why are you assuming that we're all on board with where
Yeah.
you are?
I would, yeah.
That took a lot to get out.
Yeah, if his dad,
That's a lot.
Ukraine is not weak. Just go. I would have said that, and they go too soon, and then his dad should have said, "Well, I'm for Russia, so I don't know what." That's what I would have said. yeah. Well, I don't know what the big deal is, dude. I'm like way on board with Russia.
We're winning.
We're winning. Yeah, we're winning. He
You're
goes,
like,
what do you
"What?"
mean where? He goes, I'm Team Russia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go, oh. Yeah, I would. Your dad. I would just be like, yeah, don't make jokes around that person. Like,
Mhm.
just because it's like, all right, well, they're not fun.
No more fun for you.
Yeah, no more fun for you. It's like rightfully they don't. It's like if they say too soon, you're like, then it is what it is. What I'd love to hear the other side of that, they go, no, he has Russia flags everywhere.
Yeah.
And you go, oh.
You got a Putin mask
he
on.
doesn't.
It was-
You're like, well, we didn't get all the okay, and you go, yeah, that's why they said too soon. David Eklund, after liberating Rome during World War II, the Pope gave some of the American soldiers an audience. My grandpa, who was a Methodist from Iowa, went along with some Catholic friends. The Pope came along a row and stuck out his hand. My grandpa was first in line and didn't know the drill, so he shook the Pope's hand. The Pope shook it back. Grandpa didn't realize he had messed up until the Pope continued on and all his buddies kissed his ring. Decades later, my grandpa could laugh about it, but was still embarrassed. He always said that the Pope was the only person who ever thanked him for going to war. That's so funny.
Wait, so I don't understand. I don't understand
Yeah.
what he was. So he shook his hand and he wasn't supposed to.
So I guess there's a ritual that I didn't know about where if the Pope does a public, he has a ring and you'd kiss his ring, and this Methodist guy just walked up and goes, "Hey, put her there." Just
Yeah.
shook his hand.
How you doing?
I mean, the
How are
Iowa thing
He
makes
goes,
sense.
takes
now.
his hat off. He goes, Steve Johnson, how you doing? Nice. And the Pope's he's into that golf cart, and he's like, it's like hurts his arm because it's like, oh. He goes, all right. And then he just turns his hand back this way, and the next person, then they kiss his ring. He's like, well, I didn't know. Why would you? Who would think? I mean, yeah, he's from America.
It would have been weird to assume that.
I mean, it's really awkward when you misunderstand something
Yeah.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like that happened to me. I was at a club, and there was a show going on, and a server at the club came up to me, and she had like a basket of those like chicken fingers and French fries, and she came up to me and she had her mask on, and she was like she pointed to me, and I guess I'm hungry. And so I grabbed a chicken finger and I dipped it in the sauce and I ate it because she's offered me. I was like, sure. And then, but she said something. I didn't really understand what she said. And the way she looked at me, I go, something's not right. And I go, what did you say? And she goes, do you want some fries?
Yeah.
Like she couldn't eat the French fries.
Oh.
So she was offering me fries.
Yeah.
She can only eat the chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
And I took the 1/3 of her meal. I took it and just right in her face and left her and said no to the French fries.
He's just handing out hors d'oeuvres. Oh yeah.
Well, if she was still offering something, that's it's a little bit on her.
You're like, man, Buffalo Helium's amazing.
Yeah. Buffalo, is that where it was? Yeah. Buffalo Helium is great. So I hope. It's a mix of. I don't feel like you can just
Well, I felt I was like, oh man, this is so I can't believe it. And of course I had to be there. It wasn't like I was like a small like this is like the thing is like, oh, this happens to me all the time.
Yeah.
like I can't wait.
Well, just I think it's then you made it known. Don't go point food at Justin unless it's open game.
Unless you're ready to lose it all.
Is it open?
Unless you're ready to lose it all.
How would you know? I thought she was gonna tell you like I'm trying to get by.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is somebody's.
Yeah, and she's like, I need to go that way, and you go, which would be very funny. That's like, she's like, hey, could I just kind of try to squeeze by real fast, and you just eat these people's like there's a toll to get around you, and you go. Justin Smith toll. He stands in the front of the kitchen. Whatever they order, you're like, I'd order a little extra of it. And they go, why? We have to pay this toll to get by Justin.
He gets a handful of every plate.
Yeah, he gets a handful of everything. He tries a little bit of every. You get nachos, and you're like, what happened to this side? There's a toll.
On the menu.
And you got him early, and he ain't eating, so.
When he goes on stage, the doors lock.
Yeah. I'd come to the late show. At least he's grazed for a while.
He's a little less aggressive.
Yeah, it's a little. First show, you might as well order 2 plates.
He lets a few more greens go.
It's crazed. That's great.
Stephen Nupp took my dad to see Nate in San Antonio. Safe to say, Nate has a new fan. Haven't heard my dad laugh that hard in years. Mom asked when we got home, how was it? My dad said, it was the funniest time out I've had in years. My mom replied, our 40th anniversary party was 3 weeks. Oh, funnest time out I've had in years. My mom replied, our 40th anniversary party was 3 weeks ago. My dad replied, so you want me to start lying to you now? Nate also lost a fan, so net 0. That's awesome. Great.
Just breaking even.
Yeah. Want to ask, can we get an episode with Nate's sister? This is from Miriam Giorgio. We've had
Miriam Gregory.
Miriam Gregory.
Yeah.
Can we get an episode with Nate's sister? I would love to hear her side of the stories. Thanks for all the laughs. That's never going to happen. So, no. I think we're going to do one. I want to do one with, I'll get my Abigail and my brother Derek on.
Oh, that would be fun. We can get your 23-year-old son on too.
Yes. Yeah. Talk to him about stuff. By the way, you guys are doing great. So that, he just last night he
so
said
much fun.
Yeah,
it's so much fun.
Yeah, last night we were we're recording this early. Recorded it earlier than when you will see this, but we were in Augusta, Georgia last night, and he goes, "Dude, these people were like so excited." He goes, "I had 5 or 6 people that were like, 'Are you his son? Are you his son?'" And so just keep it up,
Yeah.
And sometimes if Chase is not out at the merch table, it's because they have the building sell it. So sometimes he's not selling it. So if you don't see him, that's why.
But he's around.
But you don't have to, you get a heads up. If you don't see him, that's kind of why. Sometimes he walks back there and you might see him. But a lot of times he is selling the merch, and then you feel free to ask him.
Maybe that's a new merch idea.
Yeah.
I
don't think he would tell us either. He told us because he randomly will bring it up. I think he kind of just so I hope
It's so good.
I think it'll be a long time before he goes, yeah, dude, a lot of people are saying that.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a comment on Reddit that said, "Can somebody post a picture of Nate's 23-year-old son?"
Yeah.
And somebody who didn't listen to the podcast was like, "Nah, dude, we should respect his privacy."
Yeah.
They're like, "Don't do this. Like, you don't
Yeah.
need to do this to Nate's
Yeah,
kid."
Yeah, guys, don't. You know?
It's crossing the line, guys.
You crossed the line. My wife doesn't even know about him. So too far. So we ordered a painting that I thought about that the way I did it is this is called Paint Your Life, and we ordered a painting. I've showed it to you. It's 2 different pictures of Harper and her favorite horse Flame that she gets to ride at her horse camp. And so it was a picture of it was just a picture of her with like a fake horse. And so I thought, well, let's actually put the real horse there for Flame. We did it. It was super easy. I mean, you just you uploaded the 2 pictures and told them in the online order form how we wanted them put together. And I mean, a few days later, we had a proof, and it was perfect on the first try. It was actually a very, very cool gift, and it's a very cool idea. Like if you have, I mean, you could put if you had your if you want a picture of your dad, Nateland Jackson, you could do it. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of something. Or, it's paintyourlife.com. There's no risk. If you do not love the final painting, your money is refunded, guaranteed. And right now, as a limited time offer, get 20% off your painting. That is right, 20% off and free shipping to get this special offer. Text the word Nate to 64,000 64000. That is Nate to 64,000. Text Nate to 64,000. Paint your life. Celebrate the moments that matter most. Message and data rates may apply. Terms apply. Available at paintyourlife.com. /term. Again, text Nate to 64,000 64000. Also, Keeps. 2 out of 3 men will experience some form of hair loss by the time they're 35. We're 2 out of 3 men. I did not. So it looks like it's going to be you, Aaron. Are you losing your hair at all? You don't think so?
Not that I can see so far.
Yeah, we're in good shape.
I'm good for now.
Yeah.
I'm going gray.
Your mom's dad had hair?
It did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, till he died. He did.
Did you say it did? Or he did?
He did.
Okay.
It's his pronouns.
This is pronoun. Yeah, that'd be a great pronouns. I go by it. So Give Keeps a try. I mean, more than 50 million in the U.S. suffer from male pattern baldness. There's a world that I think in the future baldness could go away.
Mm-hmm.
They're really doing stuff. Keeps offers a simple, stress-free way to keep your hair. There are only 2 FDA-approved medications that can prevent hair loss, and Keeps offers both. They have virtual doctors, consultants. Medication delivered straight to the door every 3 months. Treatment started at only $10 per month. Prevention is key. Treatments can take 4 to 6 months to see results, so act fast. If you are ready to take action and prevent hair loss, go to keeps.com/Nate to receive your first month of treatment for free. That is keeps.com/Nate to get your first month free. Keeps.com/Nate.
Guys, I'm back. I don't know why this seat is sitting so low. Don't know what's going on this episode. But I came back to tell you about Everyman Jack's men's care. On the live podcast, I showed my body wash. I called it Captain Marvel. It's Captain America.
Oh, gosh.
I know the difference. I just misspoke. But I love it. I'm now doing sea salt body wash. It's great, too. It's you can find them at Target, Walmart, Amazon, everymanjack.com. It's kind of like the beach, Kramer.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I got some of it today too.
It's good
3 in
stuff.
1.
It's
3
good
in
stuff.
1.
Yeah.
I'm a big 3-in-1 fan.
Yep. It's
Loaded
body
in
wash, deodorant, skincare on one. You can nourish your hair and your beard. Scents inspired by the great outdoors without any of the harsh chemicals like parabens. Not sure what that is, but I bet it's bad. Dyes, we know about that. Dyes aren't good. They can be a great abrasive to your skin and leave it feeling dry. This is clean. It's naturally derived ingredients. Everyman Jack uses responsibly made packaging. You can find it at Target, Walmart, Amazon, or everymanjack.com.
When I have to buy coffee for the house, I always buy the worst stuff. My wife hates it. She's very particular about the kind of coffee she drinks. But I signed up for Trade, which is a proud sponsor of Nateland. It connects customers to the freshest and best tasting coffee they've ever made at home by partnering with the country's best craft roasters.
Wow.
These are independent businesses from all over. They partner up with Trade. You fill out you answer some questions, what kind of stuff you like, and then they go, well, we got you. They send you the best stuff. So I just got one today. I got a shipment of a new kind in that I'm excited to try out. You'll get whole beans or ground. I get ground. However you brew it at home, they guarantee you'll love your first order or they'll replace it for free. You got to try Trade. They're offering new subscribers a total of $30 off your first order plus free shipping when you go to drinktrade.com/Nate. That's more than 40 cups of coffee for free. Get started by taking their quiz at drinktrade.com/Nate and let Trade find you a coffee you'll love. Once again, that's drinktrade.com/Nate for $30 off. And don't forget about Mother's Day. It's a good Mother's Day gift.
It's a good Mother's Day.
A Trade subscription is the perfect gift for the coffee lovers in your life. And finally, it's our old friends, Athletic Greens. I eat really, really healthy. I exercise a lot. I'm worried about these two guys that I'm with. I'm trying to get them, and I got them on board with Athletic Greens.
Yeah, we do that.
Yep.
So they don't need to do anything else. You just wake up every day and you put a scoop in water and you drink it. It's a special blend of ingredients supporting your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovering, focus, aging, everything. It tastes great, easy to make. It's like, why have all this stuff in your cupboard? You got Athletic Greens as one little bag. That's all you got to do. Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and help your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. One scoop of water and water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you got to do is get on your internet browser, your phone, your whatever. Go to athleticgreens.com/Nate. That is athleticgreens.com/Nate to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance.
So this week, we are talking about what?
Books.
Books.
That's how far we've come. If you'd asked me a year ago that we'd be doing a books episode, I would have thought it would have taken a little longer.
This is
here we
definitely
are.
the facial hair crew for this particular topic.
I don't even know where this is going to go.
You remember the last book you read? Let's cover to cover.
Lone Survivor.
Okay.
Probably.
When was that?
When right when that book came out. When was that book came out?
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. That movie came out like 10 years ago, didn't it?
Yeah, I would say, yeah.
We have no internet in here right now, by the way.
Okay.
I like well, I mean, this is the best.
I would
time
say
for
Lone Survivor.
not-
I'm going to
not
say,
work.
maybe the books episode, we don't use
Yeah.
the internet.
Yeah.
Or try not to.
Yeah. I would do.
That's what's killing books is the internet.
I know.
Yeah, I would do Lone. Yeah, I think it was Lone Survivor. My dad always wanted me to read The Hobbit, and he would always give it to me, and I never read it. I was like, this is great, and I was like, I don't want to get in. My dad and brother are like really into like Harry Potter, Hobbit, like they like all
Lord
that
of the
kind
Rings.
stuff. Lord of the Rings, all that stuff, and I just don't like that stuff. So I was like, I never read it. I started reading it once, and then I was like, I don't know, I'm out, dude.
I feel like Harry Potter's an exception, but I understand. Like, I never got into Lord of the Rings, like any of that
Yeah.
stuff.
I want to read. I want to read a lot more. I
Mhm.
do. I actually got a book on the Scribd, and whatever. And now I can't think of the name of it. But it's like this mystery book, and it's like this crazy thing. And I tried to, but I have a hard time focusing.
It's tough, man.
It's I can't even make it to a page, it's like I get done with like a paragraph, and I go, I don't even know what that paragraph was about. I feel like I used to be able to read books.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like I used to be able to like.
that was a
I
bad
could
place
focus.
to pause. That was
Yeah.
I used to be able to read books.
Yeah. He gave me for my birthday. He gave me the Phil Knight book, Shoe Dog,
Oh, yeah.
and so I was excited to read that. And it's like I'm gonna try it. Like I got it in my backpack. I'm like, all right, let's read this. Like, but it's I don't know, man.
I feel like
Reading could be
I feel
done.
like biographies are like I. It's easier for me to read biographies because I feel it's easier to jump into the story, and they start so much quicker
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to like when you have to somebody has to set up a whole world. And instead of a biography is like it's the world that we live in now,
Right.
Even,
Or
just like
something
certain
like Lord of the
timings.
Rings, they have to introduce a whole new vocabulary,
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
places, things, people. Yeah.
I mean, you know how many
I
words I
never
butchered
did.
in Harry Potter?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Just when I went to see the movie, I was like, oh, so that's how you say Hermione?
Yeah.
Is that how?
Yeah.
Because that's what wasn't bouncing
Better.
around.
Yeah, I would. I've read Jordan. I swear, I used to be able to read books, and honestly, maybe it's like the way the life is now with the internet, social media, and all this stuff that you have no attention for anything that's long. But yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, with you, I don't know if I could even read a book right now. Like, I don't think I would register. I could. It's like I could do it, like, but I don't. It's like if you ask me to run a marathon, you're like, I mean, I can.
Yeah, in
It's gonna take
theory.
me in theory. It's gonna take me a few months, a year.
Yeah.
I'll probably put it away, just live in some random house for 6 years,
Yeah.
and then I'll get back out and go do it again. But I don't know if I could. I mean, can you get like? I don't even pay attention.
I
Like,
do audiobooks is what I do.
I know. I have trouble listening to.
Well, it's also
I
because
mean-
there's books that have the readers can be bad.
Yeah.
That's the other part too. Is you'll have a book that could be an amazing book, but if the person reading it is not performing well, then it's not good. Like some of the best audiobooks are because the guy reading them or lady,
Mm.
is performing them at a high caliber.
Yeah, you got to say, lady, they're allowed to read books.
Yeah,
now.
they are.
Yeah.
I mean, that was
That was
recent
disrespectful.
though, right?
Maybe in your early days when only men could read and read stuff. But yeah, dude, that's disrespectful. Women are allowed. I think they've been allowed to read, 90s, early 90s.
Yeah.
Right
At
before-
least 85.
At least right before
Yeah.
Jordan got on his run.
Yeah.
Right.
I remember specifically Jordan getting on his run
Mhm.
and hearing a lot more women talk about it.
Yeah.
And I go, how do y'all even know this is happening?
How do you? We read it in the papers.
Yeah. I go, you what? And then, yeah.
We read it.
That's my thing with movies. That's why I think I'm watching these old movies or something. Like it's like, and I just think it's like I'm so busy or something, and your mind just always going
Mhm.
that I just can't even focus to try. I got a few things that I can kind of focus on, and the rest is, and we're getting narrowed down.
Yeah.
It's not much. There's a small. I used to be able to do all this, and now you're like, I can only focus on. I got this tiny little.
You're doing really well in that spot, though.
I'm doing great.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of new coming in, but there's just a lot of specific me that's coming in.
Yeah.
Not a ton of new.
No.
Not a big net.
Nah, you don't need all that.
I don't need all that.
Bring it
And
right
just
there.
right there.
Maybe instead of like, because also the books that you're talking about are really big.
Yeah,
Maybe
but I mean,
start-
I'm a normal American that should be able to get through a book. Like I don't you shouldn't be like I was American, doesn't matter. I'm a normal human. I mean, I'm just it's like I'm not. It's what I don't know what to. Maybe maybe I'm not normal. Maybe something's wrong with my brain. But it's great. I don't see how. How can you not get there? Y'all don't have any trouble. Like, do you remember it?
I mean, I do audiobooks. Is how I do it.
You can read a book. I think I have trouble with magazines. I couldn't read an article. I mean, I try to read an article and it's big. You're
Yeah.
like, come on. There's no.
Get to it.
Yeah, I don't even know. I wouldn't even know. Like, I would just bail on it and then be like, I can take in new information. I think I like talking about it and I like hearing about it from someone. Like, if I hear it and I trust that person, I'm like, I like hearing this person tell me this kind of thing. There's some things that I can, but it's very specific. So maybe that's just as older you get, you go, I'm not distracted by as much noise. I see what is noise and what is not noise. And I can just focus on the not noise. And the
Mhm.
rest of it, I'm like, where am I going to go with that? You know?
I do know it takes me longer to read things because I got to like I'll be with hanging out with my girl and she's like, read this article,
Yeah.
and then she hand it to me and I start reading and I can tell that she's like being like, man, it
Yeah.
did not take me this long.
Yeah,
to, like
yeah.
I could feel her nervous energy,
Yeah.
like, and now I'm like, oh, now I'm taking way too long.
That's
to
the
read.
worst when
You,
two people are reading the same thing at once
Yeah.
and you have to
You can tell that they're
adjust to
done.
their speed and you're
They're-
like, let's just,
They're done. They're doing something else. And you're like,
Yeah.
no.
You held that phone up pretty early.
Yeah.
in that story. I mean, there was a good 5 seconds of I didn't know. He goes, so my girlfriend, like the other day, I was doing this, like she'll show me an article, and you're like, oh, okay. I mean, I was like, I don't know what's happening with this. It took a long time to get to. He goes, so my girlfriend will, like sometimes we hang out at night, and so she'll be sitting there, and I'm like, what are you doing? And she goes, well, I was thinking the other day, did you read this article? Was there no phone there? That's his no. She goes, we read this article in the newspaper, and you're like, well, what was that? He goes, what? He doesn't even know he's doing it. He's not even aware. He just, Justin, you talk about not knowing what you do with your hands in a picture. Your hands are just go like this in every story. You're like, oh, today I was at the grocery store, and I was sitting there reading, on one of the magazines and the People magazine. I turn it over, and you're like, what was that about? He goes, I don't know. I don't know how to not do that.
Top selling books of all time. You know what they are? First one's
Bible.
probably an
Bible.
easy. Bible's not even close. Second book, I would be very surprised if you get.
Old Man in the Sea. Huh?
No.
Quran's
number 3.
Okay. So number 2, is it a real book or is it like a religious book?
It's not a religious book, but it's not like a novel.
Dictionary.
Yeah.
These are not bad guesses.
I don't know.
You're laughing, but these are not bad guesses.
I don't know why that made me laugh.
Yeah.
It is a collection of quotations from Chairman Mao.
Well, how would I ever
So
know that?
that's what I'm saying. It was
Yeah.
1.1 billion copies.
Wow.
Uh,
Who is chairman? Like in
he's a leader of the Communist Revolution in China in 1949 and chairman of the Chinese Communist Party of China.
so people had to read it.
I was going to say the government probably
Yeah.
bought all
Yeah.
those.
Yeah,
I was gonna say I've been.
that's a very loose. Like he goes, I'm number 2 reading book. You're like, I mean, all right.
Yeah,
like
we weren't into it.
He
But
goes,
I've been
you
to
know,
so many libraries, and let me tell you something.
He passed the book out better than anybody. I mean, we had to read it.
I've never been to a library where we're like, oh, this is my first edition
Yeah,
of the.
and
the
the
letters.
book is just quotes of him.
contains 427 quotes on 33 different topics.
I'd probably get through that book because it depends on how long his quotes are.
Yeah, just little bite-sized
You
pieces.
know, but it's like sun doesn't shine on the other side. Like it's like that. Yeah, I don't know. But like I'm just thinking of a quote.
yeah.
And I'd be like, okay, all right. It doesn't. It's on this side, so it never shines on the other side.
Yeah, keep
But
your friends
technically-
close, keep your enemies closer.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, his are all just very,
He just starts quoting Goodfellas.
They're just
Yeah.
like bumper
they're
stickers.
bumper stickers that he be happy. You go, okay. Yeah.
That's quite a quote, Mal.
Man,
Yeah.
that communism merch store must be crazy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean that's all merch.
Number 4, you've already mentioned it, Lord of the Rings.
Oh. Wow.
Best-selling novel in history. To date, it has sold around 155 million copies all around the world.
Wow.
So that's up there.
That's good. That's cool. Good for Lord of the Rings.
Longest book ever?
I mean,
Is it? Oh, I never would.
No. What is the longest book ever?
I don't know if I could watch the movie. I don't know if I could make it.
It's 3 movies. They made it 3 movies.
Yeah, I think I've seen it, but I remember around that time, I was like, I could tell if I'm not interested in this, I don't even. It is pointless of me watching it.
I hate to say the phrase hated it, but I like other than that Helm's Deep battle, which was amazing, I was just like, man, I'm good. Call me when you got some wands.
Yeah, I don't even know what any of that meant.
Wands like magic.
Oh, wands.
Yeah, wands.
Oh,
What do you think I said?
Like wontons.
Y-U-A-N. That's how I pictured that was spelled in my head.
Wands.
Juan.
Y-U-A-N?
Yeah, I don't know why I had a Y, but
Not a J?
no, it went Y
So,
in my head.
so you misspelled it even in your head.
Yeah. When you said it, I go, Y-U-A-N. What is that?
It's a wand.
Yeah, what's a one? Yawn.
If you had to guess, Justin, whether there were more McDonald's or libraries in the United States, what would you guess?
I mean, in my head, I would guess McDonald's,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me too.
but
There are 14,157 McDonald's restaurants, 121,000 libraries.
So too many libraries. Oh, that's good to know.
Too many.
Too many.
We can get rid of some.
We can get there's probably a ton of them we can get rid of.
Now, only 16,000 of those are public libraries, like the ones like the city library and stuff. But
Here we
that,
go,
that includes
switching
private.
things around again.
So what?
But that's still more than McDonald's. Okay, let's not act like that
Yeah.
really changes things.
Yeah. Well, it's a big number. So you're talking about like private libraries?
Yeah, like a private, like a
Is this a library? I got those books up there.
you.
that have clearly never been cracked from what
Yeah.
we're understanding.
No, I read a lot of them. It's about comedy. And that first Still Team 6, I read that. I mean, I loved reading that stuff.
Yeah.
And I just am having a harder time reading. But
Well, you got that Zero Footprints book. That book, you were the one that recommended me that
yeah,
one.
I never.
And it was great. And it was great.
And I stopped because I
That was the worst part.
think I liked it, but I was like, I just don't have.
That's what,
you know.
Nate went and got that book. He's like, man, this book is.
I wanted a
it's-
book.
It's gonna be great.
Mhm.
And I go, oh, dude, it looks interesting. I'll get it. And so I got the audiobook, and I spent 18 hours of my life listening to that book, and it was amazing.
Mhm.
Don't get me wrong, it was amazing. And so I called Nate like 2 weeks later, and I was like, hey, did you finish the book? And he goes, no.
Yeah.
I go, well, are you like halfway? And he goes,
Nah, I
no.
forgot about it.
I don't even know where it's at.
I know exactly where it's at. It's on the bus.
Oh,
I know
yeah.
exactly where it's at.
Oh, yeah.
You see if it moves every day.
Because every time we open up he's got to look at the book to get the Xbox controller.
Yeah, he sees it every day. Still not moved. Yeah.
So I remember I bought my dad this DVD for Christmas, and then like 5 years later, I just saw it on the bookshelf. Wrapper still on it.
Oh,
You
that's
know?
great.
He's just like, I don't know. He's
Yeah.
like, I didn't care to watch it.
What was it?
Frost Nixon. Some.
Oh,
You know,
Oh, yeah.
You remember that
Yeah.
movie? He was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, thanks."
Yeah.
Never
Can't wait
opened
to
it.
watch
Well, I mean,
this.
I don't know that if I was trying to bond with my pop, I don't know that I would bring out Frost Nixon.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
This will break the icy.
But this is
tension.
this comes as elite family.
Oh, I guess that's true.
So
Yeah, you probably watch like Field of Dreams or something.
Yeah.
Us
We
common
watch-
mouths.
We watch
Yeah.
Frost Nixon.
yeah.
We could get this listed as a library, Nate. We'll call this the Bargatze Library.
Bargatze Library.
And I
Yeah.
could come. You can issue cards and
Yeah.
and
And
come
you're
check out a
welcome
book.
to take out a book. Yeah.
Bargatze Memorial Library.
Yeah.
So the fastest
I mean, I'm
reader
already
in the
dead now.
No, just
The memorial.
Like just anybody can come in here and remember you. I don't think you have to have. That's a misconception. I think you can be memorial. Yeah.
No,
Memorial.
No.
you're
no,
remembering.
Memorial. I mean, Memorial
Don't
Day.
you- we're-
Memorial Day is about.
Yeah.
Right. Remembering, past and present.
No, not
No, that's
no.
that's not.
When you do Memorial Day, they say all the troops stand up.
No,
for
Memorial.
the past.
Memorial.
For the people of the past.
I know.
Memorial
but
Day
they're
is for
still
people.
alive.
Memorial Day is for people who have died.
Right.
Yeah.
Veterans Day is everybody.
I mean,
Yeah.
maybe. I mean, if you want to live it that way,
Yeah.
I don't live it that way. I
Yeah.
go the opposite.
Yeah.
You guys are just living wrong.
Yeah. How do you dress for a funeral? You wear like a very flashy suit because you think it's a good time. You don't know what, you don't understand what stuff is. Here you go.
I thought we just remembered him.
He goes, no, I thought it was a pretty
do
good. I thought we were having fun,
Just
dude.
do it good.
I thought he was going to be here. You said there's a memorial service. I texted him and said I'm on late. I'll be there in a little bit. And you're telling me you walk in just devastated. Every memorial service, you are just overwhelmed because you just are like, yeah, oh yeah, we're meeting up there. All right, dude, I'll meet you up there. That's great. I haven't seen him in a while. And then
I have.
he's gone. You're like, just lose it. And it's because you don't understand what memorial means.
I have recommended. They were a buddy of mine, or somebody I knew rather, was passed away, and they were like, "Let's take suggestions of things we should do to remember them." And I was like, "I don't know. Why don't we do a fireworks show?" And I thought that was a great idea
Yeah.
because everybody's always trying to find new industry. Like
Yeah.
people are trying to make funerals happy now.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Why not a fireworks show? Everybody loves a fireworks show."
Mm.
And the way they all looked at me was like they hated the idea so much, kind of like you guys are looking at me right now.
Uh-huh.
So what did
Because-
they were like, we're just going to do a funeral.
Well, they should. Yeah, it was the most. They were like, let's
Yeah.
let's do something out of the box, and they did everything exactly normal.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm not against you saying fireworks.
I mean, I like a.
You got the
fireworks.
ball started.
I'm telling you,
And maybe it is like, they're like, yeah, that is crazy.
if you went to a funeral with fireworks,
Yeah.
you would never forget it.
Yeah, you're right.
You would.
I would
yeah.
not forget
you
that.
would not forget it.
Now, Justin, God forbid we come to your funeral. Do you want me to do
5 years from
fireworks?
now? Oh, I want all of them.
Mhm.
I want you to. I want you to have the tent on the ground
Okay.
and then throw a road flare in it.
Okay, I'm gonna have to cut this tape up and show it to your family before I
Go for it.
horrify them
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
launching fireworks off at your
He's
funeral.
gonna show it before.
Well, they named me.
yeah.
They named me Justin Carl.
So you're gonna show him the video
I think they're on
within
board.
a day of him dying. So here's Aaron. Justin's just passed.
Mhm.
We got to bury him Tuesday.
Right.
And Aaron plops in. Will you mind watching some of the Nateland podcast? So I can show you why we're doing. I'm gonna shoot fireworks at your son's funeral. That's the only time you could show him.
Yeah, that is right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like one day to show
Yeah.
them that.
How you doing, Aaron Weber? They're like, who are you? You go, so we're gonna shoot fire. You don't even say who you are. That doesn't matter. But we're gonna shoot fireworks off at your son's funeral. Well, he died yesterday. Well, you understand the time crunch I'm in.
we gotta
We gotta get on the horn.
we gotta
here.
drive to Arkansas.
Yeah.
Get these
Right,
things.
right,
Yeah.
We
right.
gotta find a supplier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Golly.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you something. If there's anybody that knows where to buy illegal fireworks, it's the Smith family.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I think
How
his
do
dad.
these-
His dad would be.
Oh, yeah.
His dad would. I mean, we would.
He'd
I'm
figure it
I'm
out.
telling you, my dad would not shed a tear during the whole
I think
process.
we'd have to tone his dad back. We'd have to go. You gotta.
He would.
Yeah.
He would spend everything that he was going to spend on the funeral
On fireworks.
and on fireworks.
How do these fireworks stores, what do they do?
I mean, I don't know if
Sell
you've
fireworks.
Yeah.
But there's only the 2 days a year you can shoot fireworks off. And there are these
Oh.
huge structures on the side of the interstate. What is going on in
I
there?
think it's like a novelty. I think people buy them for 4th of July. Like July's in the middle, so you're always around it. And then if you're in a place that doesn't sell it, you're like, hey, let's just stop and get fireworks now.
Do you think somebody in March is like, let's go ahead and buy some fireworks?
Yeah.
I mean, people buy them for St. Patrick's Day. In Florida, they were shooting them off at New Year's.
Yeah.
Florida, a lot.
New
going on.
Year's.
Yeah, well, obviously New Year's. Yeah.
And a Christmas holiday show.
Yeah.
Okay.
4th of July.
Now I understand why you were trying to
If
do
you-
it at a funeral. You
I'm
just did it
telling
for
you, yeah.
Columbus
Who
Day.
doesn't
Yeah.
You know?
love fireworks? That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Memorial Day.
Fastest reader of all time. The average human being reads at about 250 to 300 words per minute with a comprehension of 70%. So that means you're reading at that speed. You only retain
You only grab
about
a third.
70% of it. The world's fastest reader, Maria Teresa Calderon from the Philippines, 80,000 words per minute
That's, I mean,
with 100% comprehension.
I don't know.
She has a photogenic memory.
You don't buy
Yeah.
it?
I mean,
Evidently, she read a 3-page long college level essay of 3,135 words in 3.5 seconds. So that's
She
that's
just
about
has a photogenic
Yeah.
memory. That's all it is. It's
Yeah.
not. It's not reading. It's being able to recall.
yeah,
I would
that's,
bet more
that's
than
100% comprehension.
Yeah.
she can just look at a page and she remembers every word. Yeah.
You just look at it like that, and
And
you
then
take
how do
it
they
all
know?
in.
Does she go? And they go, "Did you just read it?" And she goes, "I did." They go, "Golly, dude, are you kidding me right now?" And you know what it's talking about? She goes, "Yeah, I know everything."
Well, they
And I
probably
go, God, that's so crazy. All right, well, let's put it in the World Book of Guinness.
Get
just
the
there-
record book.
Done, done, done. You read that whole thing? Whole thing.
that's about the speed that she read that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
You ever heard that old Brian Regan joke? I got my speed rating up.
yeah.
My comprehension plummeted.
That is very funny. Yeah, yeah. That's when she would go like this. She'd go, and then be like, "And you comprehended that whole thing?" You go, "Yep." What's comprehension mean?
So
And
she
then
could-
tell her, she doesn't know that. What's comprehension mean? He's like, "You understand it?" Oh, yeah, yeah,
It's just not the word comprehension.
yeah.
A 2009 study of the University of Sussex found that reading can reduce stress by up to 2/3, making it a much more efficient relaxation method than listening to music, drinking tea, or even taking a walk. You believe that?
No, because this is the most stressful episode of this podcast that I've
Yeah.
ever done.
I
All we're doing is
feel-
talking about reading.
I feel a lot
Yeah.
of pressure when I read.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm just, as I read this page, I know I'm going to forget it as I turn it. And then I'm just starting anew like the book started. I would need a book. If
One
you
page
wanted me
long.
if you want me to understand a book, the first chapter needs to be the same page over and over again. And I need I just keep reading the same and eventually until I go like, all right, I'm good. And then I move on. It's like the hassle of that. I think I'd have to read it. I mean, I would start some. I barely get, you know,
There's some of these comments.
no, not the comments, but I barely get like a paragraph. And I'm
Mhm.
like, I don't know. Dude.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's like I'm too busy or something. You know, it's like there's a lot on your mind. That's what makes you.
You got a lot going on.
Yeah.
I feel like also like there's a lot of times you read books and they get like really frustrating. Like I read Elvis's biography. When I
Mhm.
say read it, I mean I listened to it.
Okay.
And
it frustrated you?
Well, no, it was the fact that it was the biography is like I looked it up because my girl is really into Elvis, and so I was like I'm gonna learn more about because I don't really know that much. Because I was like a
You're
Johnny
taking
Cash
an
fan.
interest in her
Yeah,
interests.
so I wanted to, and I read all the things, and everybody said that this biography was like the best one.
Mm-hmm.
It's called like The Last Train to Memphis, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait. And I looked it up, and it's like 18 hours long audiobook. And so I'm investing in my relationship.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And for 18 hours, I mean, this is like two road
Yeah.
weekends. You know, like I'm investing the whole way.
Yeah.
And then I'm sitting there and I'm like, I gotta be close to the end. And he's getting on a boat to go to Germany, like in the military. And then the book just ends.
Oh, really?
It's like, bro,
Oh.
you didn't even get to Vegas
Yeah.
Elvis. No, he's going to Germany. He's famous, but it's just like it's still just like bubblegum,
Yeah.
pink suit,
Yeah.
soda fountain Elvis.
Yeah.
And
Did you
it's
download the whole book?
whole book, 18 hours, and they didn't get to anything fun, nothing
Yeah.
like that. He's
Talk
not
about
even.
his childhood stuff.
I mean, a little bit, but it's like it's all just like, hey, they went to hang out, and then they get cheeseburgers.
That's
And then they
crazy.
went to Mobile, and they
Mhm.
went and they got cheeseburgers. And then you're like, this is the most infuriating. I spent
Yeah.
18 hours. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I was so excited to get to the crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
like I want
Yeah.
him to shoot guns from an airplane.
Right.
I want the fried peanut butter sandwich Elvis.
Yeah.
Chubby Elvis, Jim Stone.
There you
Yeah.
go.
I mean, a fat famous guy is. I love it so much, and the fact that the guy's like he got halfway there and he's like, all right.
And like almost
There
like
you
you
go.
know the rest of the story.
Yeah.
So
and there was no mention of a
Yeah.
second book
No, no.
whatsoever.
That's so the idea.
Enraging.
My theory with that idea is it's someone that's it's like the guy writes it thinking like, you know what? We all know the Elvis story where you're like, no one probably really does that much. You know, not that. I mean, like people that were alive when he did, but you're like, so he's like, I'm gonna tell. He's like, but everybody knows the end of it. I'll just tell the beginning, and then people read it. My theory is that most of them don't like it, but they're embarrassed to not like it because it's like the guy writes it as going, here's the beginning life of Elvis, and then all those people they go, yeah, no, I loved it, it was great, and everybody's aligned. Everybody, if you could get them all just alone, you'd be like, come on, do we really like this book?
Right.
And they'd be like, well, I wish he would have done more of that. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It's like anytime you watch a Batman movie,
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
they're literally like they go to the Bruce Wayne, you know, they show the parents and all stuff, and I'm like, man, can we just get to
Once
where
a
he's
few
punching the
people-
Joker
yeah,
in the
once a-
face? Can we just do that?
Once a few people like something, it's like I feel like it just goes. But that's I have no idea.
There are a
Maybe
couple
that's not
books
true.
that have become standards to read in high school. I remember the Scarlet Letter
Yeah.
and Moby Dick's another one. You
Yeah.
ask nobody likes those books.
Yeah.
People be like, these are not enjoyable reads,
Yeah.
but for some reason they've just become part of what we need to teach you.
Yeah.
Scarlet Letter's awful, dude.
Yeah.
That book stinks, dude.
It's brutal.
Moby
too.
Dick is awful.
Yeah.
But it's just part of it.
Yeah.
But you're right. I think we lined up everybody and go, can we all just agree?
Yeah.
We can move on to something
Yeah.
else.
These are the older books.
Let's read Lone Survivor instead.
Yeah.
You know, it's probably a way better book.
Yeah.
Did you guys get like Christian books when you were like?
Bible?
No.
So
Like,
with the catechism.
there was it was really popular when I was in middle school and high school, or more middle school. But there was like Christian authors that would find like they were
the
like
Left Behind, stuff like that.
Yeah.
No, like there's a guy in particular that I'm thinking of. His name is Frank Peretti is his name.
Okay. Never heard of
And
him.
he was like the Christian Stephen King.
Oh.
So he wrote like supernatural things. Like one of those books that he wrote that I was like that everybody like in my school like passed around was like a book called The Oath, and it was about an invisible dragon that would eat people that would commit sins,
Oh yeah.
and you're like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
Invisible Dragon. And the cover was it was awesome because it was like you're like,
Yeah.
oh dude, I don't know what's going on in there.
Yeah.
It's like there's Jesus message in there. Like
Yeah.
that was the best part. Is like whenever you were like in a strict household,
Yeah.
if something was like, it felt like it was like breaking the rules,
Yeah.
kind of. But you're like, oh, it's Christian.
Yeah.
Like look at that cover. It's
Oh,
got the
wow,
snake
that is
tongue
really
I
on
love
it
that
and
you
the
said
eyes.
passed around like the kids were dealing drugs at your high school.
Yeah.
We passed
Dude.
that book around like a Brian Regan album.
Hey, dude.
Like,
Do you
Yeah.
have the oath?
yeah,
Yeah, I can get you the oath, dude.
There was when we go to the school library and there was a wait list on it. It was
Wow.
like 3 weeks deep
Oh,
to get
wow.
that book.
We had Harry Potter at the library. We were reading the good mainstream stuff.
Oh,
You know
It was
what I mean?
it was crazy.
Not trying to brag or anything.
yeah.
I know you're big into dictionaries, Nate. You know, in the
Yep.
first dictionary, well, you mentioned it earlier.
I am.
I was trying to do some segues here, dude. Samuel Johnson wrote the first English dictionary, 1755. Took him 7 years, 42,700 entries with 114,000 literary examples. He only got help writing the examples from assistants. The rest he did completely himself.
Wow.
Some dude just sat down and wrote the
Yeah.
dictionary.
That's the first.
Did he make money
It's the
off of it?
First English one.
What it took 7 years?
7 years to do it.
I wonder if he made money.
I'm hoping he did.
Yeah.
I mean, that's quite a service he's done for the English speaking world.
Yeah, yeah. But I don't know. Back then, I don't feel like they would do that stuff off pride.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, it was published.
yeah.
Oh,
okay.
dude. Yeah. He got money for this. He was living large after this, dude.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why? Because it was published.
Well, never. Yeah, he got my money. He got
Oh.
money for doing this.
Oh, but it says he got some of 1,500 guineas. What is that? Oh, the
Which is
coin.
like the equivalent of $250,000 to write
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Which I guess
But it
over
took
the
him
course
7
of 7
years?
years.
$250,000
Yeah.
over 7
I mean,
years.
back then though, 250 grand probably was $10 million.
Right.
Like,
Right.
Well, that's the modern equivalent.
yeah. Oh, it'd be like 250. Oh, yeah.
Like 250,000 now.
so-
Oh, maybe it's like driving for Uber. Like he had another job, and
Yeah.
then every night he went home and wrote the dictionary. And
I mean-
he have to explain that to people. And they're
Yeah.
like, "What?"
Right. Yeah, he doesn't know, and he goes, "Oh, that's right. All right, I'll put dictionary in." He writes it down, and I need to put the definition dictionary. Anytime he says, someone goes, they just want something, and he goes, "What? And he goes, and then he hands him a pen. He goes, once he gets the pen back, he goes, "Pen." I write that down. You know.
You'll like this. The dictionary you've heard of, Noah Webster. You know, Webster's Dictionary, 1806. It was the first truly American dictionary. Now he tried to simplify the spelling of a lot of words because he thought the way the English people spelled it was too complex.
Mhm.
Like he changed like you ever see when they put like the R before the E at the end of a word?
Yeah.
Like center, CENTRE.
Yeah.
He's like, let's just come on, just put the ER.
Yeah.
That's how it sounds. He changed plow, PLOUGH to like PLOW.
Right.
Yeah.
So he did a bunch of that, but he tried to do a bunch more, and people were like, come on, this is too much. He wanted to change tongue to like TUNG
Yeah.
and just like, let's just spell it how it's written,
Yeah.
you know, women to WIMMEN.
Women. Oh, I like. Yeah.
Women, yeah, I knew you would be on board with this. He's like,
WIMEN.
why are we spelling it different than we say it?
Yeah.
I'm down with the tongue thing for sure. I
Yeah.
can't believe that one didn't catch on.
I think there's a point that goes, look, we look stupid. Like, you know, I guarantee that we look like rednecks.
Yeah.
So let's class up some of these words.
Right.
I gave you plow.
Well,
I
it's just-
gave you center.
He goes, he went, it seems like he's really targeting a group.
Mhm.
He goes, I'll let you do plow. You know, people that plow they're going to spell like that anyway. But the tongue people, come on, dude. These are our doctors. Like, let's let them. Every word that he gave them was like a dumb, like you know, like I mean, he so this guy was going to just. He's like, yeah, we're going to just change it everywhere.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm going off just two choices, but the manual labor farmer job, he goes, I don't care.
Yeah.
And then tongue, he's like, dude, these are
Yeah.
some of our smartest people.
Yeah. We are a civilization.
We are a civilization. Let's go TOUNG.
I mean, you
Is there
ever,
an E at the end of it? Yeah. TOUNGE.
Yeah.
Yeah.
TONGUE.
there almost has to be a thing.
Tongue.
I think it said Toun. Tongue. Yep. That makes sense though.
Yeah, but Tung. I mean, it's, it would have been nice.
But
It would have been nice.
But tongue Tung. It does. It just sounds like we're not going to make it.
Do you ever write things phonetically?
I mean, I read everything for now. Like, yeah. If I don't know, I'll just kind of give it a go.
Like, I just think of, like, whenever I'm having to, like, read something out loud,
Mhm.
I write it the way it's supposed, like, in my head, the way that like, I just imagine him. That guy's, like, been trying to get people on board for months.
Yeah.
And then he just sees somebody do it, and he's like, see, I told you.
How does he get all the words? I mean, someone gives him a... So you guys just find them? Someone mails them something?
I think, well, you're working off the other guy's dictionary.
Yeah, but the first guy's dictionary is like, that dude just has to do it all on his own.
He's just like the words I've heard in my life, I guess.
There's a lot of sticky notes on that one.
I guess it would take 7 years because you got to be like, well, I got to, every day I need to come home with 10 new words.
Yeah, I got to go have conversations with people, see what they're saying.
How are you doing today? Weather good? You see how he says, well, sun doesn't come. Oh, he goes, coming. All right, forgot about that one. Let me put that in there.
So this is a good question. How does a new word get added to the dictionary? It still happens. Every year they add these words to the official dictionary. When people use a word or phrase frequently enough that it appears in widely read print and online publications, lexicographers take notice. What a made-up title for a job. That lexicographers.
Notre Dame graduates is what it sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, Oklahoma State.
I didn't graduate from there.
Oh, really?
I don't want to disgrace their.
Oh, my bad. Oh, I'm sorry, dude. First, they collect citations of the word. They go out and find where it's used. They make sure it's coming from people with diverse backgrounds over a long period of time. It can't just be like, if we all just start saying a word.
We said bingle.
Bingle. Yeah,
Bingle.
Exactly. Then it's got to get people from all over saying it for it
Okay.
to make sense. And then they review the evidence and decide if they want to put it in.
Yeah.
And you add a few words. What was they just changed the definition of literally to basically mean anything now.
Oh, wow.
Because people used it wrong so much that they're like,
what do you mean? So now it's,
you hear people misuse literally all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this is literally the biggest cup I've ever seen. So they're just like, let's just let them let them use it. It can mean figuratively too.
Yeah.
Which is literally the opposite of.
Oh.
But if you look at the official definition,
it now
just means
Yeah, I don't know.
It's
if that's
whatever.
Good. Yeah.
It's not a good precedent for sure.
Like you just go, all right, that's fine. We're on our way back to TUNG. Like I feel like we're just heading in that direction that you're going. They fought it back then, and now we're just like, all right, you win.
Well, didn't they add like the skirt thing? Like one of the Migos's, like Phil.
Oh, this.
Yeah.
That. How do you spell that?
I had trouble with tongue.
Probably have to use Siri.
Yeah, we should. Look. Okay, we got a bunch of COVID words got added.
Oh,
breakthrough, super spreader, vaccine passport. That's in the dictionary
I could have
now.
made those words up.
Whataboutism? I hear that a lot.
Yeah, I hear that a lot.
Yeah, astroturf. That just got added.
What?
Oh, astroturf in that context.
As what context?
The figurative use of astroturf is used to describe political efforts, campaigns, or organizations that appear to be funded and run by ordinary people, but are in fact backed by powerful groups. So if you're like, we're a grassroots organization, and then there's really a billionaire giving you money in the bank, that's astroturf.
I'm gonna say, I think we're about done with astroturf.
Fluffernutter. They're still adding a lot of fun words. Air fryer just got added. They're keeping up with the times.
Yeah.
I'm on board with that ad, that's for sure.
You a big air fryer guy?
Oh my gosh, so much.
Yeah, what are you making it?
Pizza is the
you make a homemade pizza?
No, not a whole one. But like when you get pizza, you got a few slices left over.
Ghost kitchen.
Ugh.
A commercial cooking facility used for the preparation of food consumed off the premises. Also called a cloud kitchen or a dark kitchen.
Wow. Okay.
Doorbell camera, a lot of fun stuff.
Yeah.
So there are over 171,000 words in the English dictionary now. Oxford has
How many?
over 170,000 in the current English dictionary.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, Oxford Dictionary has 273,000. Well, you got to think it started with 42,000 back in 1755.
Yeah.
And we're up to 172. So we've been adding words like crazy.
What's weird that they're terms now and not words, because I feel like doorbell and camera both are in the dictionary.
Yeah.
It's weird that they're like now we're putting things
Yeah.
together.
That's
It's called
true.
weird
a
to me.
compound word.
Yeah, but so wouldn't that be a separate dictionary, or is there gonna be a separate section of the dictionary?
For compound words?
Yeah.
No, there are singular words.
But aren't compound
You
words
know?
connected?
Yeah, so it's one word.
Yeah, but it's not like the doorbell camera or
Mm-hmm.
blank check like those are all separate. Like that's
Yeah, you're not really making up
Yeah,
a
I
new
guess.
word. You're going, well, it's a doorbell, but it also has a camera on it. Well, those are two different things. You
Mhm.
just combined them. So why are you writing a new?
Because it's
so,
a whole different thing.
Yeah, but then you're like, feels like sometimes they get paid by word to do this, and now they're just drumming up business.
They must be.
But it's a doorbell camera. It's a doorbell that has a camera on it. Okay, that makes sense. But why don't we just keep the word separate in the dictionary? You know, like who's
Mhm.
going to look up doorbell on its own, then go to camera, and then be like, still like, I don't get it.
I mean, I'm so
And they
glad-
go, well, come on down to this section,
Uh-huh.
and we'll show the compound
Come down the
section.
compound words. Yeah.
And it says doorbell camera. It goes, okay, finally.
I'm just so glad.
I guess you're right. Yeah, there's a space in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
just-
that's why they call them entries. To
I'm just
clear
glad,
up that.
I'm just glad you guys are on board with
Right.
that because I airballed that Memorial Day thing so bad.
No, that's all
And I
right.
was
Yeah.
like everything else after that. I was like, oh man, I don't know.
No,
what this
no.
is.
That was
yeah,
a funny
that's all
moment.
right. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
No.
good. Yeah.
Now, do you prefer, if you are reading a book, do you prefer having it on an electronic device, or do you like holding the actual book?
Right now, like I like to read the book, but I've tried to read it on my iPads and some like I do that, and if I could get used to that. I've never tried a Kindle, and I think I would like to try it to
Mhm.
see what that is like. But
I don't like the Kindle. If I have read books on iPad, I read Gucci Man's biography on the iPad, and it was really good. Oh, it was unbelievable. His biography is one of the most exciting.
Who wrote it?
He did. I mean,
Okay,
I'm
yeah,
sure he
yeah.
had somebody peeking over his shoulder every once in a while.
Right.
But I mean, his biography maybe jumps off quicker than any other biography that I've ever read. Like it starts from chapter 1. It's the most exciting.
Better than Elvis's.
I mean,
yeah,
better than any chapter of Elvis's.
Yeah.
It's bananas.
yeah,
But it's also like cool because he's like again like the biographies are great because you watch people who are great and influential become great,
yeah,
and you see why, and they kind of like it helps you change your process.
yeah, yeah.
You ever hear somebody just say, I just love the smell of a book?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like book collector people.
Yeah, they're like, I can't do the Kindle. I love the way a book feels. I love the smell of
I
it.
like the way it just seems easy. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, there's a word for the bibliosmia. Is this the smell of old books?
Oh,
There's a real word for that.
yeah,
Isn't that fun?
yeah. That's fun.
It just smells like mildew.
It
Yeah.
just smells. Yeah, that's what it is. Mothballs and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. Longest sentence ever printed. It's in Les
I was
Miserables.
gonna say it was in the Tennessee Kid.
It's in the transcript of
Yeah,
the Tennessee Kid.
It's 1 hour straight.
Are you gonna write a book still? You think you might? One day?
Maybe. I
Yeah.
don't know.
That would be fun.
Yeah. So
I just love for you to do the audiobook for it. Oh, we might talk about it next one. I'll talk
Yeah.
about that video game that
yeah.
you did the
Yeah.
voiceover for.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
bananas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Not just a guy walking down the sidewalk.
No, it's the main character.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
No, it's cool. That one was it's on the Steam Deck. And it was it was crazy. I went down there and I would do it. It was so fun. They were like awesome. And it was just like it was crazy to be like you just in there doing that's the greatest gig ever. Is like just
In
doing
the voiceover booth.
but I mean, yeah, you're just in there and you're just saying all this stuff and aperture desk job.
I like that they just let you. It sounded like they were just like say it in your own voice.
Yeah, they wrote it like the dudes that wrote it all, like they were fans, so they kind of knew. And then, but I would say there's a dead gummit in there.
Yeah.
I had that in there. I don't know for sure. I thought I tried to put a folks in there before,
Oh
but
yeah.
I don't remember. I don't know for sure. But it was, but I mean, like I would say what they wrote, but yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, it's crazy, dude. It's really cool, and yeah, I haven't played the game, but it's yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
I mean, your voice fits the vibe of the whole thing.
Yeah, it's
For
hard
sure.
to picture that though. When it's your voice, you're like, I don't know, am I that? You're like, you just, but I
Right.
feel it's not like I'm like, you feel like embarrassed. You're like, I'm not this. Like y'all should have got someone else. That's
Mhm.
almost what you feel because you just hear your voice and you're like, I don't
Right.
know what I'm, you know.
Right.
And I'm nervous that these people, you're gonna get fired, dude. You shouldn't be using me,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was great. I mean, it was a very, very cool thing. It's cool to see it come out. It's like, I knew about it for a little bit, obviously, and then, but it came out, yeah, like, they turned it around quick. I mean, the game, I believe, was already built.
Mhm.
So,
That's so cool, man.
mhm.
Well, Les Miserables. You never see that movie?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. The book, there is a sentence, 823 words long. It's a long sentence.
Wow.
That's a run-on. Longest one ever printed. President Theodore Roosevelt, we talked about him here on the podcast before. You're familiar with him.
Yeah.
He read at least one book per day. He'd read one in the morning before breakfast. And then depending on his schedule, another 2 or 3 in the evening. That's dedication. You had nothing else
Well,
to do back then.
I don't know if, yeah.
You don't know if you believe it? Or that's just like a
I mean,
fun thing to say.
A book?
A book.
A whole book. He would
Mhm.
finish it.
Yeah, before
Possibly
breakfast.
3 books a day.
Before breakfast.
So before breakfast, he gets up and reads one book.
yeah.
So how long's a book back then? Were they 50 pages? 40 pages?
No, they're probably a little like same length as the books now. It's not like books have gotten that long.
Well, I mean, you think you read 300 pages?
Might be able to. A couple, an hour or two. Be able to knock one out.
I mean, I just feel like that's so and so. First of all, how are you like? What else are you doing during the day?
Well, he's the president.
I
So
know
he's
that's
running
what I'm
the
saying. It's like
country,
I don't know if just nothing's going on, or if you're just like,
Well, let's see. You can't really. Who is this?
This is Theodore Roosevelt.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you couldn't really talk that much. It's like he wasn't getting calls.
I mean, he's got the look for
That's
it.
true.
So he's not, so he's like doing, you just kind of sitting around the house. I bet it was, I mean, look, being president, back then, if you're president, it's like, it's either like you doing nothing or it's the craziest thing. You're in like a war.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
It's like, you're like, yeah, I have time to read some books.
Look at this, dude.
But
He just
that's
wake
great-
up,
who-
sit in that little wicker chair.
Who reads in a wicker chair? Like that's also how I know. I don't
Very
believe it's
comfortable.
real.
So you believe he's posing for this?
Oh yeah,
Because that's not how you would read.
first of all, he's a chubby guy. Nobody reads with a vest. Like
That's how people dress back then,
You don't
man.
read an uncomfortable clothes. Like that's insane.
Yeah, he's the president in
He's
the
the
1900s.
president,
He's not
yeah.
going to have sweatpants on.
I mean, but it's
they,
like-
and they just invented cameras. And so he's like, all right, I'll get dressed up for the camera. I mean, there's like that's, I mean, that's why you do. Yeah. What do they think? He's like, so I got to dress up. And you're like, I mean, it's going to be pretty obvious we're about to take this picture.
I mean, I like how
They got one of him falling asleep. I'm sure he woke up when he heard that. Like he just goes, just the loud, just like his lightning hitting. He's like, ah. And he goes, what was that? And they're like, there's still a glow. The person just disappears. And then he's like, was that, am I dreaming this?
Well, Americans don't read the most in the world, if you can believe it or not. If you had to guess what country reads more than any other country, what would you guess?
England.
You got to think about that's a great guess.
I would
What are the
say-
situations that would cause you to read a book?
I'm gonna say like a cold weather place,
Mhm.
someplace like Iceland, or maybe like Denmark, Sweden, someplace like that.
It's Iceland. It's
Seattle.
Iceland.
Mm.
Seattle's number 2.
Yeah.
It's Iceland and Seattle.
Yeah, Iceland and Seattle. I knew I was close.
Mhm. So we talk about bizarre books, or remember in Harry Potter, the forbidden book
Yeah.
section. Harvard owns a book that is bound in human skin.
Why would they have that? Why do they have that?
It's just an old book, and it was published sometime in the 1880s. They confirmed with 99.9% certainty that it is bound in human skin. I don't know why they're not 100% confident.
Yeah. Why is there nothing in that it's ever 100% confident? If you can get to 90.99, why is that one extra just?
Because if they get it wrong, they want to be like, well, we told you we weren't 100%. The book's been sitting in Harvard's library since the 1930s and has a note inside of it from the donor who explains that the book was bound in human skin. People have used it to memorialize the dead or the still living, among other reasons. They said they got the skin from the back of a female mental patient whose body was unclaimed after dying from a stroke. So they just scraped off her back and made a book out of it.
Is there a picture of this book?
I mean, do we want to look it up?
I just don't.
I don't. Why would you? Why would just take it out of this school?
There it is.
Oh.
This one says debunked.
Oh.
What are these facts Brian's giving me?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like you gotta like.
Oh, golly.
Science 1, internet 0. So they were 99.99% sure.
That's
it
why they were
wasn't one.
99.99% sure. We
Yeah.
pull up an article. It says the Harvard-bound book in human flesh isn't actually bound in human flesh. It's sheepskin.
I guess.
Oh.
Well, that's what they want you to believe because they were probably getting some flack for having a human skin book.
Yeah.
Apparently, whoever wrote this is a fan of the podcast.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because it said, "Sorry, folks."
No, it does say sorry, folks, up top. That's
Yeah.
very funny.
Oh.
Oh, man. That's too bad. I was enjoying
Are
that.
you guys sad that it wasn't human skin from a patient?
Well, she was
No,
already
I mean,
dead.
I was going to be like, why would you have it? I would say if they kept it, you'd be like, well, why would you do that? Like, just why are you going? Well, it's it's like I don't know. You're going to be like some lunatic
Yeah.
did this, and y'all are, and you keep like I get the idea of it. I get the idea of keeping it, but I would be like, you should never let anybody on earth know that you have the book. Like,
Well, I feel
Yeah.
like this gets into like the world of like book collecting, and that's a
Yeah.
whole different world. Like,
yeah,
it's also like, if you've ever watched a documentary about book collectors, like they're like,
Let's
get
assume
these-
I haven't.
I wasn't a
got a hat that
brilliant.
says Bigfoot Country on. Keep going.
It's like when people collect books like that, they just want the rarity instead of like what's inside the book.
Yeah,
It's like they've printed new versions of these books.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They're like, oh, I want a first edition. It's like, well, what is that?
Yeah.
Like, you're not reading the first edition. It's just like you just want something because it's like old.
it's like cool to have. I've always wanted to collect something, and I try to think what I would want to collect, and I can never find something that I'm like I would want to get into.
I collect so much stuff.
Really? Like that
Yeah.
you're like I think I really would like I try. I'm like, what would I want? I think I guess I would want probably something history.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what. Maybe books. Maybe
Yeah.
book collector. I'm
Yeah.
just saying that you trash them
Sorry,
forever.
yeah, maybe
I go,
books.
that doesn't sound.
I do like bibliismia. I do
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Every time I hear about collectors, I go, I want to be a collector. I want to go. Like I like the idea that you're searching for something.
Mm-hmm.
That you're always like looking for something and searching
Yeah.
for it. Like I think it's fun.
It is fun.
Yeah. What do you collect?
I collect a bunch of sentimental stuff on the. I'm trying to visit every baseball park in the country.
Mhm.
Going around the country for comedy, I get a baseball at every park.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
So I have one of those for all of them. I collect baseball cards. That's a
Yeah.
fun one.
Yeah.
By the way, it's back.
Yeah.
It's back.
It's
yeah.
the market's crazy.
You better get rid of them before it falls out again.
You're right. Probably some of them I
I'm telling you,
probably should sell.
if history's
I think
taught us
stuff
anything-
should only go up more because everything's going digital.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would imagine anything that's like you can hold in your hands it can only go up
Mm-hmm.
because everything's going to get to where eventually we don't have any papers or something like whatever
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
And so like if you just hold on to anything, that's like that's baseball cards. I would imagine would be safe to. There's
I
going to be a
hope so.
market for it.
Right.
Well, I think also like with time, I just think of fires, storms, floods, just anything that it doesn't matter how much it's produced. You give it enough time, and eventually it's all going to disappear.
Yeah,
It's all going to
So
become
anything
rare.
that's- Anything that survives and is rare. Then
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
But that's, you know,
I was trying to look at that. I thought, does that beep? Does that thing flash when we talk? Oh, okay. I just noticed that. Sorry, everybody. And that's why,
Nate was
honestly,
zeroed in on what
I
we were
was-
saying,
Hey, if you guys,
Justin.
I
if you guys
didn't
are
even-
if you guys are wondering what it sounds like when you're bombing in front of Nate, you can just go ahead and clip that one up real quick.
That was like he was reading a book.
That's
what's
not. Oh yeah,
Hey, real
you
quick,
were.
real
You
quick,
were.
hold on a
book.
second. What's that beeping thing?
Yeah.
What's that blinking light thing over there? Oh, it's when somebody's talking. Okay, all right.
We were a book,
Dude,
just
you were a book right now. I just so you know, I cut you off just to see if that would blink when I talked. That's the only reason I stopped the conversation. I was so not into it, and I go, all right, that's good enough right there. And I just said that to go, oh, I guess it does beep when I.
I didn't
It
notice
flashes.
that. Now I know I'll be looking at that a lot.
Yeah,
That's fun.
yeah.
Every time I look at it and think of it a little bit that I was trying to do that didn't work. Remember that song?
Yeah,
right
remember
there?
that?
Remember that right there?
No, that wasn't your fault. That was my
Mhm.
fault.
I wrote a book when I was a kid.
Oh,
Yeah.
When I was like 4, I spoke a book out loud to my mom. She wrote down the entire thing. It's
Yeah.
pretty long. It
How-
took a long
how
time.
long?
I mean, it's probably 30, 40, 50 pages
Yeah.
when I was a kid. And I mean, it makes, my mom still has it in a binder. She wrote it all.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. It's
Yeah.
the worst story of all time.
Yeah,
But I was so into it. I remember being in the backyard saying it to her.
yeah.
And I need to find it.
Let's say the ending is the hardest part.
Well, I would say.
Well, I was struggling with characters and
Yeah.
everything.
I just hope you go on to greatness because then they'll be cool that you did that. And if
Yeah.
you don't, it's going to be like, well, that kid was a psycho. Like that's like something, a book like that. It can only go two ways. Like you go on to greatness, it's going to be in a museum. You're like, he came up with that young.
Yeah.
But if you go on to nothing, it's like this. Like if you're in prison, it'd be like,
Yeah.
he wrote a book to his mom.
Wait, he was
How did you not see this coming? Like, this,
right.
you really have to do something in your life to make the dumb little stuff at the beginning to be like, right? He
Yeah.
was doing good.
It's a lot of pressure.
It's a lot of pressure.
I feel like there's every person has moments like that where it's like I'm either gonna be great or I'm gonna be a lunatic.
Your mom was Theodore Roosevelt that apparently had a lot of time to write.
She'd write one book before breakfast
Yeah.
every day,
Yeah.
2 or 3 in the evening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She did so many of them that
Yeah.
she eventually just was like, her 4-year-old talked and she goes, oh, let's go through this. You should get it so we can.
I
read
need to
it.
find. I think it was called like pickle nose eye beetle. Like it made no sense.
I'm
I need to.
on board.
I need
Pickle
to.
nose eye.
I think
beetle.
I'll text my mom
It's not
after this
bad.
and I'll see if she can find it.
Yeah. Pickle nose eye beetle. I don't completely hate that.
You know,
Yeah.
you're like I'm on board now.
I would probably you want to see if I can get through your book?
Okay,
I might be able to.
you might be able
Yeah.
to.
I'm
I'm gonna tell you what, if you're looking for your comedy LLC, I think that's it right there.
Yeah.
pickle nose eye beetle
Yeah.
LLC.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Well, everybody knows
Production
now.
company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now everybody knows it.
If you're looking for your password for for your credit cards, I think you got it right there. Pickle nose eye beetle. Right, everybody.
That sounds like a play in football. Pickle nose eye beat on too.
Yeah.
yeah, it does.
Is
That's all.
that it?
That's all the book stuff I got.
All right.
That was fun.
That was fun.
That was way better than reading a book.
Yeah. I think you learned more.
We could have. We probably could have read a book in that time.
I mean,
a shorter one.
Theodore could have for sure.
Theodore's read a few
he
already.
could have read that one girl. She'd read 100 books.
I still don't think that's real.
I mean, people have photogenic memories, so I think they can. Like, she's like, if someone that's like super smart, it's like that, but you want to be like, yeah. It's like you, I don't, yeah.
I just think
know.
it's different.
But
It's a
I don't
different
think
thing.
it's just looking at it and then remembering it. It's like you're reading it in real time, just that fast.
But if she knows everything, if she could pass a test, then who are you to say she's not reading it?
Right.
You know, it's like,
100% comprehension.
but I mean, I just want to, they should also say, well, we let her.
Is it her in the green?
Oh, is that her?
Yeah, Tristan sent us this video. I can't figure out where to go to it, but
Tristan didn't know what
I think
he's
this
talking
is
about.
But yeah, you look
I mean,
it up. World's fastest reader. I guess she does it on the.
I definitely.
Well, why you can't? Is it not in the middle when they print the book out? How can you not see it?
Sa machine, there was a machine that I wore. It has, it got the goggles.
There you go. Yeah, it's gotta be right there.
Here you go. She's gonna. Tristan, do you have an idea where this is in this video?
I mean, if it's
Uh,
true,
This is like an 8-minute video. I don't know.
No,
Where.
we can just keep going to that where you can see that. Yeah, keep going.
From 400 all the way up to 5,000.
Oh,
I mean,
all right.
if
Yeah.
it's real, that means she can probably read something faster
Yeah.
than a printer. Can print
I mean,
it
the
out.
setup.
Way faster.
Good Morning Korea is set up wild. There's, I mean, a cat. She's in the middle of the couch, surrounded by two people. They're talking to people eating breakfast. And there's another guy just in a. I mean, it's
It's
just,
chaos.
Yeah, just
out here.
unmute it. There's but it's a ton. I mean, look up Good Morning Korea. There's the most is happening, and they have. Yeah, I think she's the only guest, is what it looks like. And there's a guy they're not showing,
and he's looking right at the camera.
Yeah, I think they're speaking English, right?
Yeah, they were speaking
They're
English.
speaking English, but it's even. Yeah, you would be like, well, just do Korean. Like, y'all, it was like that was kind of hard. I mean, that's crazy because they're doing. But yeah, there's a lot happening.
Yeah, it's hard to make sense of. But
Yeah.
that's the world's fastest reader from
All right.
Thailand. Look it up.
That's crazy. It's smart.
Or the Philippines, sorry.
Oh golly. You didn't read it right. All right, everybody. Again, we love you. Check everybody out. Instagram, Justin
Yep,
Smith.
Justin Smith comedy.
Justin Smith Comedy. AaronWeber.net.
Comedy.com. It's my MySpace page.
AaronWeberComedy.com.
It's my MySpace.
Is it?
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. It's legit your MySpace page.
No, I mean, it's a website that I built from
Yeah.
scratch, but it looks like a MySpace.
MySpace. Yeah, that's cool. I'll get people to go to it. And yeah. Oh, it should be a professional website. People are spending money to go buy tickets. But yeah, that's a cute, fun thing. Is AaronWeber.com taken?
AaronWeber.com was taken. Yeah, I had to
Yeah.
get Aaron Weber Comedy.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, it looks like that. Yeah, I mean it's cool. It's cool. I get the idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're at the age that you would do this. So well, you're 30. Yeah, maybe just past it. Are you you're 30 now?
Yeah, I'm 30 now.
Oh boy.
It's about time for a real website, you think?
I mean, it's I think they're gonna.
I mean, between the two of us, one of us has got to do it.
You can no. I think this is fine. Just keep those ticket prices reasonable. I've never clicked that and it says $40. You're like, get it? Come on, dude. What are you talking about? I went to a fake MySpace page. All right, go check it all out, everybody. We love you as always. Thank you. See you next time. Nateland is produced by Nateland Productions and by me, Nate Bargatze, and my wife Laura on the All Things Comedy Network. Recording and editing for the show is done by Genovations Media. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to catch us next week on the Nateland Podcast.